Welcome to GitHub Open Source Friday. Kind of open sourcey, kind of open not. That's all good though. Hope everyone's having a lovely day, morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. We've got people from all over the chat here, I'm assuming. Yeah. How's everyone going? Good old OBS. Doesn't want to record today. That's okay. The good thing about OBS and Twitch is we can get the download afterwards. How good's that? Good morning, everyone. Windows noises. I know, that Windows noise was telling me that no recording for you today. I was like, what? Why no recording for me? Whatevers. We got B Doggy here, we got Maple Leaf here, we got Quintastic here, we got Slow here. Well, since B Doggy's already in the chat and has already said hi, I don't think we should leave him hanging too long. As you might have seen down in the description below here, it's not just me today, it is me and B Doggy. Welcome in, Big Doggy. How you going today?
I am doing well, and it's at this point evening where I'm at.
That's good. We're in the future over here, so I can tell you Friday is pretty good. Friday afternoon, lovely time.
What's the weather like?
It's actually kind of cold, which is why I got a hoodie on. Yeah. It's supposed to be summer, but, you know, I'm in Melbourne. I'm in Australia. Like, people just think Australia is this just warm, hot, dry place all the time. And it's like, no. It's like, I'm in Melbourne, which means 4 seasons in one day. Like, it'll be 41 degrees, which is the equivalent of your 106. And then the next day it'll be 19 degrees, which is your equivalent of like 66. So, yeah.
That's some fast calculations. You must be ready to write some code today.
Oh, I'm totally ready. And everyone's like, what? It's Friday already? Woohoo! Yeah, I can tell you Friday is good. So, yeah, I'm so ready to code and to have fun and excited. And we're continuing on our last session. So for those of you who missed the last amazing session with me and B-Doggy, you can have a look at it there in the chat. So we, on the last session, which was nearly 3 weeks ago now, which is probably more than 3 weeks ago, about a month ago, we started creating a GitHub chatbot for the Twitch channel. So today we are going to continue that, clean it up, tidy it up, show you some more fun things on the way. But there is the last stream for reference, if you didn't know. Everyone's like, but it's still Thursday, you're taking it to Friday. Well, just hang around the chat, then it'll feel like Friday for you, right?
That's the saying. It's always Friday somewhere.
I was like, yeah, it's 5.
I know I forced that one.
I was like, the saying's like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Yes.
Like, that's the actual saying. Well, Slow says it's Friday where they are too, so tell us where you are so we can, I can't understand a thing. Well, you can't understand because we're kind of like on a time-space continuum here, so B-Doggy's over in Thursday land, I'm in Friday land, so that's probably why you can't understand anything. Is she British? No, I'm Aussie. Alright, let's get going.
Is it?
Oh, look, this is like Inception. So that's the last open source
Friday. On you.
Well, that's the last one. You can see I'm wearing something different. So that was the last stream. And now we're back to here. So, Brian, would you like to talk us through a little bit, just those who weren't here, would you like to do a quick recap of our chatbot that we did from last time?
Yeah, folks. We have a chat integration called GitTwitch, and it's aptly named. It's a integration to connect GitHub, the API, into Twitch interactions on Twitch. So last week, if you want to get the TLDR, the cliff notes of the video, we got to the point where we integrated this into the stream that we're on right now. And every time you start this repo that you're looking at, it will actually do a couple things. It will do the animation of the Daft Punk the cat. But also, I think it still says flex. I'm not sure. I can't remember if we disabled that or not.
I think we tried to disable some of it, and then people are still using the not local version, so it was still saying flex in the background the whole time. But we managed to disable it locally.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I guess we're going to figure that out really quickly if it's still enabled or not. But also, I do know how to disable it if we do want to go down that rabbit hole too as well.
Alrighty. Well, I think the first thing we need to do, so BDug, you've done a lot of work on Git Twitch since the last time we had a session like this. And so I was like, well, I obviously cloned the repo last time, or I forked the repo. So if I go to mine, I reckon mine is going to be quite a lot of commits behind yours. So that's probably the first thing we need to do is get to yours. Here we go. So here's my fork. This branch is 9 commits head and 4 commits behind. So I think that's the first thing we need to fix. Otherwise we won't be able to do anything.
Yeah, I think so. This is actually, I was in a Twitter conversation with someone on Twitter about this practice of updating your forks and keeping them up to date. So there's some things that I don't know if we are going to come into some problems because I think, were you working on the main branch or did you create a new branch for our?
Looks like I created a branch.
Okay, so that will be helpful. So if your main branch has not actually been touched, this will make the process much easier. If we did put some commits onto the main branch, this will be challenging. We might have to.
We've done a couple. We've done 9 commits ahead and 4 commits behind.
Yeah, and I think that the couple that we actually did, it might be fun to actually talk through how to clean this in the Git history as well. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Do you want to open your choice, CodeSpace, you can just locally. And then while you're doing that, I need to switch headphones because I got the noise that my headphones will be dying soon.
Oh no, the noise, that's not good. So the first thing we need to do is find it locally first. Do you want to do this through the terminal?
Oh, sorry, just finally switched to the new headphones.
Woohoo! I was saying, do we want to do this through the terminal?
Yeah, we're gonna need a terminal. I think the cleanest way now. You might have a better way through desktop. I know I talk about this all the time. I don't use GitHub Desktop, so I don't have the intuitiveness to be able to do this locally in desktop. But it looks like someone's saying that my mic could be turned up.
Okay, let's turn BDuggy up. Brom. There we go.
Okay.
It's always hard to tell when I don't have like the output, which is annoying. Set up my OneDrive. I don't want OneDrive. OneDrive's been very, very mean to me lately.
Yeah. So Daryl Deck kind of is mentioning the solution that I like doing, which is rebasing. But we're fine to try whichever way you would like to. So right now you just have to be on a main branch, and you want to pull the latest from the main branch. But the trick is, at the moment we've got 2 different versions. We've got the upstream, which is mine. Mm-hmm. So that's the bduggy/GitTwitch, and then we've got the fork, which is mishmanner/GitTwitch. So we need to actually make sure we're pulling from the upstream onto the main branch, and that's something that I don't quite have in my GitHub desktop knowledge, but I could do this like a wizard on the terminal.
Nice. So we're looking at desktop at the moment. We can see all the things that have had changes. So the green's obviously additions, and the red is deletions.
Yeah.
So then we can see like these ones are mine. It's a little image here of me. So they're my additions and deletions. And then we've got Brian's here as well, BDuggy. So it looks like he fixed up a few typos and a few things. So if we have a look at the actual changes, it says no local changes. So this is going to be interesting to see what I'm interested. It's a small mesh. Yes, we're both little at the moment.
Yeah. So let's do this. Since you have your local repo, do you mind opening up a terminal?
Yep.
And then typing the command git remote -v.
That's right.
I just want to see what sort of remotes we have available to us. It looks like we're not in the repo.
We need to go to here. Whoops.
Yep.
Do we want our Git Twitch actually? Repo? Or do we want all
Git
repos?
No, sorry, we just want Git Twitch.
Okay, cool. So let's open that. Now we can do it. And don't forget, if you press up tab on the keyboard, you get back to your last command. There we go.
Yeah.
That's what we've
So-
got. So we've got two
yeah,
origins and two upstreams.
Yep. And technically, they're both. It's 1 and 1. One's for fetching.
And one's for fishing.
Yeah. Yep. So
So-
what we want to do is we want to actually get pull.
Upstream.
Sorry. Get fetch upstream main.
Fetch. Get fetch upstream main.
Yes.
Okay.
And
There we go.
All right. Yeah. So that just ensures that we have the connection. So we can do get pull upstream main.
Upstream. Okay, there we go. We got something. Automate merge failed. Fix
Yeah, so we-
conflicts and then commit the result.
Yeah, so this is where we'll need to get the latest and greatest in sync. And what happens is, and I guess what happened in here, and I didn't catch you when we were doing this, is we want to actually create a new branch every time we make changes, so that way we always have a very consistent and clean history. So to be quite honest, what I normally do in this situation is I always grab the latest and greatest from the upstream. Mainly because I'm a kind of a stickler in the history and always want to make sure that the commits that you're going to be pushing back into the project are going to be commits that are consistent with what everybody else is. Because
Okay.
we got super lucky and we got 20 stars last week and we got a couple forks. So everybody's going to have the same copy that I have. So we're probably going to unfortunately, we're probably going to have to rm-rf your project.
Dang. Oh, Daryl's like, that's
Yeah.
because Mitch writes in README files. Well, the thing is, BDuggy also updated the README file, so obviously
Yeah,
there's a
and
lot
that's-
more in the README
Yeah.
file now.
And that's fair to also mention too. Like we did a lot of README updates because of my unfortunate not having good standards and practices for teaching you how to do this through the README. So there's some clearly missing components, and as we were discovering this, so luckily everybody who missed last week now gets a nice clean 5-step process to set up their own Git Twitch.
Okay. So what do?
So we can, if you wanted to merge if you wanted to merge conflicts here, we can address those now
Okay.
if you'd like.
So there's
So
a
let's go ahead.
conflict in README is the main thing that it says.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the only conflict, to be quite
Well,
honest.
that's good.
Yeah. So
Reviews are fine
if you wanted to,
fix it. So what do we
if you
do?
want to open up the desktop, you could actually just open up the README file and then
There
take
we
a
go.
look at that.
So actually it's telling me there's conflicts. So resolve conflicts before merging domain. Okay, now what do we do?
Yeah. So with that, we should be able to back out of this and resolve those conflicts, similar to the way we do it in the desktop UI, or sorry, the GitHub.com UI. Resolve using theirs, which is that what that said? It was actually kind of small for me, so I don't know if that's what it said on screen.
I didn't read it.
All right.
You just said back out of it. So back out of it.
This is true, but I'm Daryl Duck is actually like coming with the
He is pretty
With-
good. Never
yeah, he's got
mind.
the good feedback too as well. So he's seeing like the nice high value output. But it's fine because we can actually just look at the changes itself.
Okay.
So I think the majority of the changes you probably want to keep mine over yours.
Yeah. So how do we do
mainly
that?
because
Because I've never actually done conflict resolution before. So this is actually really cool. So if I click up
oh,
here,
you haven't.
No. So if I click view conflicts, this is what we saw.
Yeah. And you'll have to explain for whatever reason the font that I'm getting is not as high output. Hopefully this won't mess up my my video to you, but I'm gonna open up the stream so I can see
Okay.
what everybody else is saying.
There we go. There we go. We'll zoom in. That makes things a little bit easier. Okay.
Yeah, for whatever reason, what I'm getting from you looks kind of like a potato. So
Okay.
zooming in, I'm not sure if actually.
Okay, so there's
Is
a
it
view
better or
menu.
worse?
Here we go. Toggle developer. Yes, you guys are funny. So I'm just stuck on here like, there's a conflict. Okay, now how do we fix this conflict? We can zoom in even more. It's just like
Yeah,
200%.
this is where you want to fix the conflict. So this is going to be the same thing if we open up an editor or anything like that. So we see where the head, those little arrows.
Which ones? These are
so you have the they're like little carrots, and then there's a capital HEAD on line 10.
Line 10. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be the start of some changes. And then if you scroll down to the next set of arrows, this is going to be a block of changes that I have.
Okay.
And then the next section of the arrows pointing the other direction, these are going to be the changes that you have.
Okay.
So the easiest thing to do is probably just go ahead and obliterate yours. So everything from, yeah. Because I mean,
can I just like get my magic wand and just obliterate, like Harry Potter?
or highlighting and deleting. So line 20 to 10.
I don't think you can do that in here. This is not an editor, so.
Oh, this is an editor. Yeah, I guess.
So that's what, like we said, if we click this and then we open in.
You could open an Atom or VS Code or.
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't give me the option to open in VS Code. That's okay. We're here in Atom now.
Okay, we're gonna use all the browser, or sorry, all the IDEs today.
I use everything. Okay, so obliterate.
So yeah, so from line 20, I think it was 20. Is that what we discovered? 20 to 17.
Ooh, it's actually got little things. What does this mean? So I can click use mine or yours. So which one do I want to use?
Oh, so we want to use yours as in BW.
So I can use our changes or their changes. So we're going to use me as in their changes.
Okay,
right?
Their changes.
Oh, this is so cool.
Okay.
Done.
So this is new to me. I have not seen that interaction before.
No, I chose the blue one. Of course I chose the blue one. Yeah, that was cool. Okay, so now we're done. Now we save it, I'm guessing.
Okay, well, back in my day, when I used to use editors.
Back in my day.
It was never that easy. So you definitely lucked out on this one.
I know, it's like, so for everyone who doesn't know, like, obviously CodeSpace is a new thing too. And our boss, Martin's always like, you kids these days, you have no idea how easy you've got it. Back in my day, we had to, like, wait, like, 500 years to get a dev machine that works. And now you open up a CodeSpace and it takes 10 seconds. I'm like, yeah.
It is remarkable how advanced the developer tool space has been, and like even in the last 5 years. I think like VS Code is really not like there's JetBrains, there's VS Code, Atom is what we just saw, Sublime. I was actually originally a Sublime user, so that's where I sort of cut my teeth on developer tools, but or IDEs rather. But I'm actually a Vim user, so when like we see all this like buttons and bells and whistles, like I don't have any of that in my editor because I choose to do the hard way.
Like Daryl, you kids and your Kanban boards and your IDEs and your cloud machine thingies.
Yeah.
I know, right? We have so much fun. You got fugitive. Yes, we did. All right, so if we go back into this, so it looks like we still got some green and red things. I'm just going to call them green. So it doesn't look like it's picked up all the changes. It looks like it only picked up one of them, which is this one up here.
Yep. So yeah, I think that was the one button we did. And I think, I'm not sure the way it's set up. If we go to look at what the rest of the history, does it list anything else that has conflicts? Or is it?
I think that was the only... So I'm slightly confused on the green and the red versus the conflicts.
Yeah, so the conflicts are going to be where those carrots or arrows. Honestly, I don't know what they're.
Why are they called carrots?
Because they, I don't know why they're called carrots. If anybody knows the answer of why these things are called carrots, these little mounts, let me know if they're even called that. But if there's none of those, we're good.
Okay, cool. So it looks like that was the only one. So I saved this file. And then what? It doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it's view conflicts. No now I can commit merge, right?
Yes.
This is so easy. It does half the stuff for you.
Well, yeah. Easy in air quotes.
Well, yeah, easy in air quotes, yes. But I mean, like, it's showing you a lot of, like, I think most of the ways I've found how to do stuff is like right now, it's like, good. There's a blue button that says, would you like to push to origin? It's like, cool. Like, it's kind of guiding you in the ways that you kind of need to go. I think that's what I like about this stuff is like, yeah, look, it's now done. Now there's no other big blue button, so it's like, oh, cool, it must be okay, right?
Yeah, and Daryl pointed out it's always not that easy. I mean, we did edit some Markdown. Normally, when it comes to code, trying to figure out what the changes are and not breaking changes. This is why it's nice to have test in an environment, because if you do break stuff, your team will find it pretty easily, because the test will or the build will fail. But yeah, editing Markdown with merge conflicts is going to be like wildly different than editing like walls of code and text and stuff like that.
Or unless the conflict is in the test, apparently.
Well,
Yes.
if that's the case, like, just go ahead and just like walk away.
just
I'm just kidding.
flip
Don't
the
do that.
table. Off you go. Alrighty. Okay, so we've merged we fixed up all the conflicts. There's no more local changes. Now.
Yeah, and I think a good thing to point out too as well, because you push that back up to your fork.
Yep.
You've actually already had a PR open. So if you wanted to go to github.com and look at that PR.
Oh, pull request. Oh, look, it is too. Now what happens? It's probably gonna. Oh no conflicts. Gotta resolve these conflicts. So many conflicts.
So
okay.
do you have conflicts in your PR?
Doesn't look like it. Just says this branch has no conflicts at the base branch.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I'm actually going to use a quick little tool that there's a tool called, and I know you're called, what's the tool? I think I should know this because I work at GitHub and this is my job. But when you suggested changes,
Suggested changes.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to do, I'm at a single line comment for some suggested changes, which you'll probably see
cool.
now.
Yep.
And there's going to be some changes because you have hard coded some of the code from like Mish Manners. I probably don't want everybody to clone this and get Mish Manners. So for the state, in case people do want to fork this and they're confused on who Mish Manners is, I'm switching that back to BDougie.
Makes sense.
But everything else I think we'll keep as is, because I think those are all great changes that we actually got during the stream last time. So
I can resolve the conversation? Is that what?
Actually, if you go to, because I did suggested changes, I suggested directly in the PR that you could actually change this from Mish Manners to BDougie. You can go to that drop down where it says commit.
Yeah.
And then that's actually going to create a commit directly on the repo, or sorry, on your branch.
So I can just click commit now.
Yep, and it's just going to update the file back to my name.
Okay.
Yeah, and we got one wow.
Yeah,
I wanted to do that because I figured maybe somebody didn't know that existed. So definitely watch the changelog videos that Michelle does on YouTube, but also come to these streams and you will be learned. We will learn you.
You will be learned. Isn't it you'll be learned?
Yeah, you'll be learned. It did.
Learned.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and merge that PR because I think it's good. I actually reviewed it earlier.
Okay.
But wanted to save it for the all the content on stream. So I'm gonna merge this into. Now the one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squash and merge because you've got a lot of commits that are quite different. But I'm gonna call these Michelle streaming updates. And this is something that not a lot of people have a lot of strong opinions about. I'm just kidding. Developers have opinions. The difference between squashing and merge commits and rebase and merging. Actually, if you're in the chat, what's your preference? Is it rebase? Is it squashing? Is it merge commits?
For people who don't know about what each of those things mean, do you want to explain a real quick high level of each one?
So while people are deciding which ones they liked, merge commits, I'll start with that one because it's top in the dropdown. So me as a maintainer, what I'm doing is I can do a merge commit, and that's going to create a commit that's going to say basically Michelle streaming update readme.md because I just renamed it just now. That is going to add a commit, and then it's going to take your 8 commits. Actually, at this point, it's 11 commits, and it's going to shove those into the main. So I'm going to have now 9 commits, and then this merge commit that I can't do anything with. I personally don't like that. Sorry, and I'm going to tell you my opinions because I'm talking. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I don't like the merge commits because they're very challenging to work with if you have to revert history. So I always avoid those. The other two options is rebase, which rebase will take those 11 commits and incept them directly into the history the way it makes it perfectly. That's also challenging and something that has a caveat with, because if you wanted to revert back to like the last three commits could be two of mine and one of yours, or five of yours and one of mine. It won't be as clean. And then, so what I normally do for PRs, because I force everybody to do PRs for all my projects, even open source ones, and I do this myself, is I squash and merge. So not only do I get one merge commit, I get only one commit from Michelle's changes. So I'm going to do that, and that's my preference. I am not right by all means. Like, this is not the best way to do everything, but after the years of programming that I've done, I've just discovered that this is the the easiest way for me to sort of manage projects in open source.
So if I look at mine says BDog you merged 11 commits. Is that what that means? So you've squashed all those 11 commits into one?
Yes, and if you go to the actual upstream, so if you go to bdougie/get twitch, you can actually look at the history, and you'll see a nice, beautiful single commit. It's got both of our heads on it. So it's that last commit. If you go to the
on this one here,
that's actually going to open up the PR. Actually, no, that will work. Actually, you can click that commit. Sorry.
Okay. Oh yeah, sweet. And then how do you?
So these are all your commits squashed into one.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
And the nice thing about this is it also gives us a nice little link to the PR. So if you went to that number 4 up on the top of the screen, keep going to the top.
Right up the top. Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that takes us to the original PR.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is nice because it gives you a nice continuous context of what is actually happening. And like Lyson, I can't pronounce your name, but they're mentioning about Lasan, actually, maybe Lysandro. Sorry, I'm just figuring out your name on the fly. Rebasing does make the history really clean and clear. And there are certain projects that I've talked to as a GitHub open source projects that love the rebase, because you do have a consistent history. And as long as the whole team and contributors are very clear about how they write their commits in the history. So like even like your commits, like fix encryption, remove flex, fix CSS, like there's a couple fix CSSs. Those could be confusing to manage if you have wildly different names. So what the best thing to do is probably have a contributing MD and have context there of how you expect your contributors and your team members to write their commit messages, and whether you prefer rebasing or squashing. Because if you do one of each, it's just going to be wildly hard to manage. So I'm off my soapbox now.
Pick one and stick with it.
That's usually the best use case. Okay. Yeah, so I've been on teams that have done all of the above, and for all different types of reasons. And usually, you just do the thing that the person who's been there the longest has decided, or has still around to convince the rest of the team to do.
I like that.
But to be quite honest, there's so many GitHub integrations, like GitHub apps, as well as actions that can enforce and lynch your commits as well. So at the end of the day, like, having this conversation should be a done conversation. You should just install a GitHub repo integration, and then you're convinced that this is now the way to go moving forward. And some of the popular ones are like Semantic Release is one of them. It's a GitHub project that enforces the PR structure, so that way the commits show up really nice in your sort of release documentation.
Sounds good. And we've got someone in the stream saying they found rebase tougher when bisecting regressions. And then, what do you do when you need to remove a commit that was squashed after the PR was closed? Is that one of those flip the table and run away situations?
Yeah. So the hope is that you can revert an entire PR merge. So if you cut a release, the hope is that you can actually revert back and make that not as a pain, because you only have to revert one commit. If you want to revert one commit that was squashed of a bunch of like 10 different commits, I would say there's like no judgment here, but like I think there might be a code smell of like maybe the best practices that you're using for your team. perhaps there's like some sort of linting or integration or QA testing that could prevent that in the future. Because like if you're fixing things in production all the time, it's probably not going to be a nice ergonomic coding experience moving forward. So I would recommend figure out how to make that more ergonomic and easier to work with, so that way you don't have to do that ever.
I like it.
I
Basically,
mean,
avoid this situation.
yeah, I mean, it's something that it's a learned experience too, as well, which is like why folks, why you sometimes you just have to defer to the people who've been on the team the longest because they've seen. Like I've been in the room where like someone mentioned bisecting, where someone deleted like a wall of code like that was actually legitimate, needed to be in the project, and like everybody moves like back in the day when we were all in the office, everybody goes to the one person's desk, they pull out the git bisect, they start writing down on the whiteboard like here's the commit of this happening, here's the commit of that happening, like, and you get like the it's like that one meme of Charlie Day from Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he has like the red strings between the pictures, and like it's just him like, okay, this is what happened. Like the crazed dev just trying to figure out, okay, it was this commit. If we go down to this commit, we can squash here. And yeah, so we don't want to get to that situation. So lint, integration, QA testing, all the sort of agile methodology, recommend checking out that stuff out too as well.
Sounds good. All right, so we squashed and merged all my stuff. Now what do we do next?
Yeah, so now we have a clean history. We can actually, you want to actually pull.
Go back to here. We can pull it now, right?
Yeah, and because our main branch commit, a merged commit, which has been rebased.
There we go.
You want to pull from the upstream again.
No, it still says fix conflicts and then commit the result.
Does it really? Interesting.
That's weird. It's got more things in it though. So remunerating objects, counting objects, total 7. They're both on the main branches, and then there's a merge conflict in gif.js.
Yeah, and that's the merge conflict that we just fixed. So I think you're gonna. I think what you probably want to do is probably start again with a full, a fresh pull, because we're probably getting some like really weird Git history issues.
Okay.
Because the fix you fix was a fix that was already on main that's now on main.
Okay.
We could also do some other like force pulling where it actually rewrites your history for you. Oh, you know what? Actually, what's better?
What?
Did you just delete that?
What?
We could actually delete the main branch and fetch the main branch again, and then
Okay.
we'll be back to square.
How do we do that?
So if you want to check out any other branch, just check out a new
What
branch
was
called
it?
test.
Oh.
Delete and start again is
So
definitely
we
an approach, but
have a thing. What do we call my branch?
this call this new branch test. I think it's fine, but you'll need to do -b. So check out -b. Or yeah, do check out -b. There's a branch command, but I forget what it is.
Like that?
And then test.
No. The branch name already exists? What? Oh, because I just created it above.
Oh,
Git
you just
branch
created
test.
so you created
So-
an empty branch.
This,
Oh no, you're good.
No, I
Yeah.
just created it there. So yeah, there's two ways to git checkout B test or git branch test.
Yeah, so actually we should explain this real quick. Git
Okay.
branch test created a branch called test, but
Yep.
you didn't check out into it. So you're still on
so
the main.
now we need to go git checkout. Checkout test, which means it should switch. What? You need to resolve your current index first?
So this is
This is weird.
We're gonna spend a lot of time in Git. If you just do git clean, git space clean -f-d, and what this is gonna do is just basically clean up everything that we did to get the
Okay.
merge conflict,
There we go.
and now you can check out test. So this is a
Still
force
says
and delete
error.
was the needs merge.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm like, I don't get it.
All right, now let's try git checkout period. Unmerge.
Unmerged.
Oh, git merge abort. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Uh,
thank you, chatters. There we go. I think we're good.
So now we can check out the branch, right?
Yes, and you could also
Switch!
if this isn't
Yay! Finally.
okay.
We
So
switched to
also,
the branch.
Lissandro, I, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that right. Apologies, but you could also do force,
Yes.
which would have this forced us onto that branch. So now we're on that branch. So now we want to do get branch dash capital D.
What does that do?
And it's going to delete and then type in main. We're just going to delete the main branch.
Oh, okay. So a big D is delete the main branch.
It's delete, but also don't question me. So if you did
Don't
lowercase
question me.
yes. So lowercase d.
So it says deleted main branch. There we go.
Yeah. But just real quick, the lowercase d would have been like, "Are you sure?"
Okay.
So the capital is like, "No, I'm serious about this."
I'm serious. Okay, cool. Okay, so we've deleted the main branch. Now what do we want to do?
So now we can type in get fetch. Actually, sorry, get fetch upstream.
Yeah, I was like, do we want to get the upstream?
Yeah, get fetch is going to grab your origin.
Yeah.
I believe.
So it looks like we've.
And now you should be able to get checkout main. And what fetch upstream does is this actually fetches all the content, but stores it in memory. And what is this? You have a remote tracking origin. If you'd like to always have. So this is basically if you'd like to make origin your default.
Oh, okay. To check out a remote branch, you can do by fully qualifying the name with the track option.
Okay, so you could have did get checkout upstream main.
Because it matched 2 remote tracking branches.
Yeah. So did this fail or did it actually go? Are we on the main branch?
It says fatal.
Okay, so we should actually get checkout upstream main.
Yeah, because by the sounds of it, we were checking out the main branch locally, but we want to check out the upstream, right?
Yes.
No, it doesn't match any files.
Get Kraken ads come up. Okay, well, let's just do this. Let's just go ahead and go back to the deleting strategy that Daryl had earlier, and we'll start from there. Because we can actually delete and then move forward from there.
So the way I did it on Tuesday was if you go to here, get Twitch, and you grab the code here.
The drop down.
That's actually the get fetch upstream. It still says it's invalid. That's really weird.
Yeah, I think we'll be best to we could probably, so we won't lose any context if we, and this is what I've always tried to avoid this, is actually deleting the fork, because all the history and your thoughts and process are still there in the fork. But I'm not quite understanding why the branch itself is not liking what we're doing. That's the challenge that I'm having, but I think it's because we have the 2 mains, and Git is having trouble understanding why we want to check out main from.
It's saying we've got multiple remote tracking branches.
Yes, and we do actually, because we have upstream and then we have origin.
Oh, okay. Right, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think the best way to go about this is type a bunch of Git commands, and then we can. Sometimes you just have to start digging a new hole instead of digging the one you're in too deep. Yeah. Daryl is like he's pointing us to deleting the repo.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go ahead and just appease Daryl, and then we can start creating some integrations.
Okay.
So just delete this entire folder. Everything from your local terminal or wherever you want to choose to delete it. You can delete it in your folder structure as well.
I just delete it from the folder usually.
Okay, so back out of.
Look, we're deleting people. Recycling 3,000. Boom, it's gone.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we could back out of this folder structure. What I also recommend too as well is deleting the fork itself, and then reforking so that way you have a fresh fork.
So delete the fork from my GitHub.
Yeah, GitHub.com.
Yeah, so let's go there.
And this is not really the best practice. This is something I was having a conversation with on Twitter, that to keep your fork up to date, you can get in some pretty hairy messes like we just got into. And like deleting the fork should not be the solution, but it's the solution most people use. So if you go into your settings of the Mish Manners fork.
This one here. So settings.
Yep. And then scroll to the bottom and click the big red button.
Oh, we're just going to delete it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not really any magic to this. It's just sometimes when your history just gets a little messed up, you just got to start from scratch.
Yeah, I managed to do it on Tuesday. We get what we found, they said. I have to choose my password again. Alright, we'll put this back to here so people don't see all my passwords and fun things. But yeah, I managed to do it on Tuesday because there was a file I had locally that was 759 commits behind the main. But I think there was no conflict, so I was able to just to pull upstream, and we used that .git. Why did it mess up? Because I'm terrible at this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. For in fairness, it messed up because we were applying changes last week directly to the main branch, not actually thinking.
Yeah. Actually, that would have made more sense because when I did it, I wasn't making changes to the main branch. So we did git remote add upstream, and then we added that .git like URL link, and then it worked. And then you pull it in, and then we pushed it back, and it worked.
Yeah, and it was
But because we didn't make changes to the main branch.
Yeah. And like I think what the value here to kind of learn from too as well is like as a contributor to an open source project, you never want to use the default branch, even though it's the easiest thing to do. If you ever want to contribute again, you're always going to be in a really weird spot that we got into. So in the future, we're always creating a new branch. And my best practice and what I recommend in most of my projects is create a branch describing the change you want to make. So today we could actually create a new branch from a new fork and call it updated style. Okay. And then at that point we can update the style and focus on that. And then once we've completed that, we'll do a PR and then we can move on to the next feature.
Okay, let's do that then. So we're back here. So I fork it again.
Yep.
So we create a new one. And then, so we got a branch. So we're going to add a new branch, don't we? Oh, it's got add gifts there. Lols. So we're going to call this style changes, are we?
Yep.
So we're going to create the branch. Cool. Done. We got a branch.
Excellent. And then we have some setup that we need to do too as well. So I don't know if you still have a SME site up and running. You probably have. You should have the thing is we had to delete the branch. Sorry, the fork itself. So you probably have to create a new SME client, which is probably good good context for folks who weren't here last time.
Yep. So do this on SME channel?
Yep. Yeah, and while you're doing that, I'll just explain for folks who just showed, we're actually building a GitHub integration into Twitch, the Twitch stream that we have going right now. So Michelle is actually creating a SME.io link. SME is an internal tool that GitHub employees built. It's basically a webhook receiver or aggregator. So that's what that is, and it's probably why you haven't heard of it, because it's a tool that we use internally that's open sourced. Yeah, I was surprised on how many open source projects GitHub has that most people have probably never heard of. And I think that's just kind of how open source works. Even GitHub has projects.
Okay, so in your newly forked repo, create a webhook. That's right.
Yep.
We did that last time, didn't we? Webhooks.
Yeah, and then you'll need to create a webhook secret too as well.
Payload.
And that was.
Yes, we'll do this on off screen. Otherwise, people can randomly get into my things. Okay, secret.
Yeah, you can add a webhook secret and then go ahead and create that. And then the one thing else that you want to keep in mind is you want to track stars, not all pushes. By default, when you create a webhook on GitHub repos, it tracks all pushes to the or commits to the project. And for the sake of not having such a noisy bot, we're just going to track stars.
Okay, cool. So we've done that. Now if I go back to here, select. Oh, that's right. We wanted to change the stars, didn't we?
Yep.
I think if I edit that, yeah, my secret is shown. So we just wanted to change the stars, didn't we? Otherwise it'll just be all over the place. So not pushes, stars. And don't forget to hit update. That was one thing we forgot last time. We updated like the secret and then we forgot to hit update, which is right down the bottom. So SME handles the webhook calls from Twitch. That's correct?
Yep. And
yes.
then
yep.
Yep. And at this point, we wanted to set this up locally. So you'll probably want to clone this locally into your environment.
So CD.
Oh, sorry. There's one more thing we actually got stuck on last week. We want to switch that to JSON.
Yes.
As well.
Right.
So whenever you get a chance.
So git repo clone manners.
Yeah. So Plannard has a question about aren't stars in the REST API, and the answer is yes. But the REST API is not live and updated when you fetch it. So instead of creating a polling tool of saying like GitHub is an API, api.github.com/this repo/stars, that's only going to update every time you hit the API. GitHub itself has a rate limit of unauthenticated requests are like 40 per hour. Authenticated requests are, I think, like a couple hundred. So with the webhooks, every time there's a star, we're going to be notified through this integration. So that's basically the sort of yeah. And I know I kept the explanation even though you said you got it, but in case other people were not informed, I just kept going through. Yeah.
Okay, so while you did that, I cloned the repo. Don't forget, repo clone is not a Git command; it's a GitHub command. So gh repo clone, and then obviously you don't need GitHub.com because we're already on GitHub. And then just the path of the repo you want to clone, and then that clones it into whatever this directory you've put in here. So that's obviously where all my Git initialized repos sit on my computer. So they just sit there. And then I just dropped it into desktop so that when we make changes, we can see them here and then we can push straight back. We're going to get rid of this one so I don't need Adam.
And I realized for the sake of Daryl, who asked a question earlier of how we got so messed up, the CLI actually does the upstream for us, which in history, when you do the git clone from GitHub, you don't get the upstream set up. So you would have to manually set up my upstream, which is bduggy fork local, which is mishmanners/git twitch.
Do you want to say that just again? We cut a little bit of your audio just then. Where you said we have to set up yours.
Oh yeah. So basically, what I was getting at is I dropped a link to the CLI in the chat because the CLI connects the fork and the main upstream. So my project and then Michelle's fork of my project are now connected to the same clone because of the GitHub CLI.
Right.
That's not normal. It just happens to be a nice syntactical sugar that has been added to the CLI tool.
Okay. So is there anything else we need to do to make sure that we're on the correct, or we need to actually switch to the correct branch, don't we?
Yeah, we'll want to switch to your new branch, which is style CSS. Okay. And then at that point, we'll need to do two things. We need to create an environment variable file that includes your secret.
Style changes. Yeah, so hang on, we got to switch to the correct branch though, right?
Yep.
Check out. Oh, hang on, we're not on the right thing. We need to go cd. We need to go into all that. Slash. Yeah, I'm remembering everything. Get to it. Okay, now we're on that one. Now we can go. Git checkout. Style changes. That should switch to that branch. Branch is set up to track remote branch change. Is that correct?
Yes, that is 100% correct.
Okay, cool. So we switched to our new branch, and then it's now set up to track changes. Okay, cool.
Yep. Looking good so far.
Okay, looking good. It's good.
So now we want to actually set up the environment. So two things. We want to set up SME, but SME also needs to have a webhook secret as well. Um,
Okay, so
so you should be able to do this the SME CLI command locally. So you should
Okay.
have already have that installed from last week. So SME-U. Also, this is referenced in the README for folks who are following along.
No option argument is missing. Oh, we need that
Oh.
whole URL, don't we?
Yes. Yep. Which you can copy from the.
That is not it.
It should just be the URL above. Or
it's
you have
that
it saved in your webhooks.
Yeah, there we go. Well, I was going to go to the website, but SME-U and that URL. There we go. Connecting.
Okay.
So now
All
if
right. So leave that alone and then create a new tab in your terminal. Because now we have SME running. The only other thing we need to do is go into your editor of your choice, which I don't know which one we're using at this point.
we'll go VS Code. Why not?
Why not? I mean, we haven't seen VS Code yet, so this would be our
in this stream.
fourth editor.
There you go. That's the last thing I was working on, how to view STL files in GitHub.
Weird flex, but okay.
This is the last thing I was doing. We did it on stream yesterday. It was my stream.
Yeah, sorry, I was just kidding.
I know. Alright, cool. So we got our folder here now. If we go
Yeah, and are you able to? I don't know. Part of your VS Code is actually cut off.
Yeah,
for
we'll move it across.
the viewer. Yeah.
We'll make the whole window a bit small. Flunk. There we go.
There you go. And you have that env.example. So last time what we did was we copied that example file.
That's right. So we're gonna go copy paste, and then we put our secret in there. So I'll do this part off screen if you wanna chat about whatever. Talk about
Yeah, and make sure
we're doing.
so make sure you also rename it to .env.
Yes.
As the name of the file. But so we went pretty quick because we did do this last week. But folks, if you're just joining us, we do have a repo, which is bduggy/get-twitch. This is our Twitch integration that we're going to add in a moment to our Twitch, the actual show we're on. It's sort of like learning how to fly a plane while building it at the same time. We're going to share that in a second. But the trick of this is that we're watching stars. We set up our webhooks. We set up our SME to actually receive the webhooks. And then we're going to set up a local server on localhost 3000, I think, is the default one. And we're going to add that to OBS. And then every time you star the Get Twitch repo, then we're going to have some sort of integration happen on the screen or in our ears if we still have the flex command going. Which we'll find out.
Alright, so we just call this whatever, right? Rename. We can just rename that anything, but it's got to be .env, right?
It should just be .env. And the question that just came in, do you guys work at GitHub? And the answer is yes. We actually both work at GitHub. I work as a developer advocate on, I was going to say on the some team, but like
some team, DevRel team.
Yeah, most developer advocates kind of have like a certain segment of what they work on. Like I talk about GitHub, and Michelle also talks about GitHub on the developer relations team.
It's pretty fun. Good gig. Yeah, we're both on the same team, which is really fun. So that's why we get to do really cool stuff like this all the time. Okay.
Yeah, so we just do our jobs on the internet.
No, how good is it? I mean, usually we do this kind of stuff in person, right? Come along and have a workshop with us. Yay. Oh, sorry, Code. You got deleted. Let me fix that. Unban you. Yeah. So SME looks exactly what you've been looking for. So happy, yay. So yeah, we've removed URLs in the chat because, you know, people like to post some really weird URLs. So
yeah, some spam is a real thing.
Blanket bannable is really easy. Okay, so we've done that. We've created the env file. We've put our webhook secret in there. What do we do now?
So now we got to run the server at this point. The one other thing that we'll probably need to check, because I know we got an error of this last time, is go to the public and index.html.
That's right.
Was it the index.html? There should be so line 14. It looks good.
Yeah, so that was my change. I wrote that in there. Change to WSS if online and WS if local. So we've changed it. It's already WS.
Yeah, and that's because of the SSL encryption. We don't have any encryption on localhost, so we just need the single S. So at this point, we should be able to start the server and add that to the OBS, and we're good to go. Well, we're good to start building something at this point.
So we started that server using the terminal, right?
Yeah, so the couple things, you'll need to CD into the project, at least in this Windows terminal or PowerShell.
PowerShell, all right. Here we go. Grab all the things. There we go.
And then then we'll want to npm install, because we do have some local dependencies that we need to create a node modules folder, because we also had to delete our fork. I think a lot of these steps are repeated from last week because we deleted our fork.
That's all right. So npm I or npm install both installs npm.
And then now npm start, and we're good to go. We've gone through the entire README at this point.
Ooh. Started on port 3000. So if we go to localhost 3000, shouldn't it just give me a link?
Oh. So normally things like Vue and React and other tools will provide a link. We didn't write that. We could write a response that says, here's the link, but that would require me to do it, and I didn't do it for the sake of this experience.
What is it again?
It should be localhost 3000.
Yeah. There we go.
Excellent.
And then we copy localhost, don't we? Okay, yeah, we've already got it there. Woohoo! All right, there we go. GitHub. Boom.
Excellent. So, is it playing the audio at this point?
I am not sure. I didn't hear no audio coming from it. Somebody start the repo.
Yeah. So at this point, now we can just have y'all start a repo to make sure that we've got other people watching us. So I dropped a link, and I guess I could start too as well. That's also a possibility. But then where's the fun in that? This is the awkward time.
Yeah, I know. It's like do.
And you could also check your SME that's actually up and running. It should be receiving these webhooks. So it looks like we haven't.
Actually, where did my SME? I removed my SME.
You do have a SME server running too as well.
I know, there it is. Yep. So if we go to this, come on SME, on Australian internet. Is that it?
That is not it. I think we're not actually accepting. Did we change the JSON? This is the original ping.
Yes, we haven't changed the JSON.
So in the repo settings of your fork.
Yep, that's right. Repo settings. Yep.
And then go to your webhook, and we will see if it says. Oh yeah. So the content type up on top.
Oh yes.
It needs to be JSON. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is mainly because the way we wrote this code. The way we wrote. So I ended up writing a lot of this code. The way I'm receiving the JSON, receiving the webhook event is I'm expecting JSON, but it was actually URL encoded information, which is going to give us like a kind of like an HTML file that. I'm not going to explain that well because I don't use that. I use JSON in most of my projects, so we just had to switch that. So at this point, the star should be received. You should be getting webhook events. I think thanks for the mochi. This just gave us a star, so we should see that event.
I'm not seeing anything at the moment. We're still not getting anything from the SME as well. How did I... Was there anything else we changed in here? I thought we had to change one of these other ones.
We did change in the indexation. That shouldn't matter because the webhook is actually connected to your account. So despite what's in the gift.js, which is what you changed back to my name, it should.
Twitch handle.
Let's try actually restarting the SME server, the receiver.
Okay, yep. How do we do that one again?
Open up the PowerShell that you had.
Yep.
You had that tab that I said ask you to
it
set
still
and
hasn't
forget.
finished.
Oh no,
Terminate.
it's actually server has started.
Yeah, so it started, and that's that local host root up there.
No, but we had a whole tab for SME. If you went back there.
That one there. It just says
Yeah.
connected.
So it says So why don't we kill this and start it again? Because we just we changed the receive to JSON.
Oh, well, we can actually just go up. It's just kind of sitting there.
It certainly is. I think though what we could also go into.
Internet.
Yeah, it looks like we lost GitHub.
Bye, GitHub.
Go back into your. So at this point, we're gonna debug this, and let's just go to the source, which is the webhook, and your repo settings.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then on your source, you should have a place to see events. Scroll up.
I don't seem to see events.
Perhaps all the way at the bottom.
Down here, recent.
Oh, recent deliveries. Ah, that's interesting. They moved it to,
the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, so, that was not there before. This is the original event when you installed.
Don't have any other events.
Just for the sake of giggles, can you just double check that SME URL is the same one that you passed in manually? I'm pretty sure you copy and paste that, but
I'm pretty sure, but let's just double check. KMZEK 0. Yep.
Yeah, the first 5 should be the same.
Yeah, and then ZMRM. Yep. It's the same.
Okay, and now let's go back to the web server that's running, the localhost 3000. Let's actually stop it completely and restart it.
So just kill it?
Essentially in the terminal, yeah. We're just going to... Yeah, we're going to turn it off and turn it on again.
So npm start?
Yep.
Server started on port 3000. Hey! There we go.
So it is... The server, no issues there.
So that's what happened on the last one, except it didn't actually pop up. It should have popped up twice, theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, it should be... I'm pretty confident people are sort of clicking the button for us too as well.
Yeah, so I've actually got it as a browser source. There we go. I just refreshed it, so it should be there now. So that's our browser source. Start Git Twitch. Oh my gosh, GitHub on Twitch!
And the secret itself is indeed the correct secret as well. Sorry, I'm just going down the list of potential things that could be the problem because we only have 5 steps.
Okay.
Thanks for saving my projects. Well, Fran, thanks for coming in. We are debugging right now.
Oh, lols. I think I know what it is.
Was it the secret, or was it the star event wasn't
shown? No, I think we saved it in... Here we go. And then we didn't push it back.
Oh, we didn't push it back up to...
Yeah, we didn't push it back to actual GitHub. Okay. So what do I need to do? Do I need to...
Well, if pushing it to GitHub won't... It wouldn't do anything, because we're doing everything locally. So at the moment... Everything on GitHub doesn't really, nothing matters.
This is true, because we're trying to do it locally, aren't we?
GitHub people who don't use GitHub. You know, everybody uses GitHub differently, Daryl.
Exactly, that's the thing. We got doubles now.
It's a power tool. Okay. So we're trying to figure out which drill bits are working for us and which ones aren't. So I think what we need to do is we need to start doing some deductive reasoning.
Oh, that works.
Oh, did it just fire? Did we didn't need to actually wait for it?
I don't know. I just unstarted and restarted. It popped up.
Yeah, there's going to be a timeout too as well built in. So I think it's actually
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think it
it,
actually worked. Someone else start. So actually, we'll just say if we go into the webhook, we should be able to see if it's receiving things.
yeah, you have recent events, and we still have the same one recent event.
Okay.
Wait, can you scroll up just real quick, just to the check boxes? Yeah, so this is the installation event. So this is actually not useful. Stars, active. That seems new.
Yeah, let me select enable verification.
Oh, let's
Let's
enable
that.
SSL. Yeah, because we're not using SSL. We're using localhost.
Yeah, and then go back and update it.
Yeah. I don't remember that being a thing.
No.
Perhaps it's a new feature.
It might be new. This is the good thing about the good and fun and yay thing about GitHub is they're always doing new things.
Yeah, I'm actually really intrigued that was even there last week.
Okay, that's when I refresh it. Okay. It could also just be.
Sorry, I checked the tape. It was there last week. I just looked at the YouTube video. Yeah.
Alright, what else can we debug next? So we've got.
That is all right. So we'll go ahead and push your version up to GitHub, and perhaps we could open up
It's working again. Or is that just delayed? It might just be really delayed, and it might just be when I refresh it.
I think that's to refresh it. It actually shows on refresh. Yeah, push your stuff up to GitHub because then I can help debug along with you.
So I should create pull request?
Yeah, create that pull request. Pull request is actually not super necessary, but go ahead and create the pull request.
Okay.
I'm going to grab your branch.
So I should look at my... hang on. Why is that not working? Sorry.
Because you didn't commit any changes.
I haven't commit any changes, but why does this do this? So it's not letting me commit my changes to my branch. Is that a thing in GitHub Desktop? It doesn't look at branches, it only looks at the main?
No, technically you haven't made any changes. I think that's what it is. Because the only thing you created was an env file.
Yeah, so why isn't it pushing that back?
Because the env file is in your .ignore. Your git ignore.
Yes, duh.
Because there's a
secret. Yes, because it's a secret. Well, I always forget about that. So yeah.
So can you go to your fork on GitHub.com and create? I think the best way to do this is probably create a code space.
So go to my repos.
Yes.
Okay, and then we go to the fork, and we create a code space. Open code spaces.
Yes.
New code space. Yay, this is this thing Daryl and Brian were saying, oh, kids these days. That's so easy. You can also open this code space on your desktop. Who would have thought? Alrighty. It's really interesting that this doesn't want to... The local host doesn't work. But
yeah, I am.
It just still says connected.
Yeah, I'm quite intrigued because I can definitely confirm that this is definitely a thing that works. And we confirmed it last week too.
Yeah, I don't know. Thing
I suppose I could do.
Yeah, everything's definitely fine. Like the secret and everything is all the same and everything. I'm not sure. Alright, let's go to the code space though. We are in code spaces. Alright, how do we... There we go. Yeah, it's huge. Now what do we want to do?
Um, now
Yeah.
we could create the same situation. You'll need to um,
So copy the ENV again.
yeah, copy the NV. You'll need to
Right.
run SME, and then you also run the localhost. But the only difference is we won't add it to the browser source in OBS. So yeah, while you're doing that, I'm actually going to repeat the same steps just to confirm that I can do the same thing that you're doing. And then we'll jump into the code space once you get all that set up, and then I can help jump around and
Okay, and then
see how
so I install npm again. So we're using this terminal down the bottom here, people. I don't know if it worked. New version of npm is available. Okay.
there is npm 7.
Next time, create a GitHub action to update missions branches. Okay.
That sounds like a great idea.
Found 0 vulnerabilities, code space. Okay, and then what did you say we need to do? SME again. SME u, and then we put the URL for SME in. Go back to make sure it's in mine settings. Go back to my webhooks. Grab that one. Try to remember how to do everything. And then SME u, and then
yeah, at this point you're going to be a full-on expert.
How come it doesn't copy and paste the URL? Oh, allow. So I just copied it like 3 times. Alright, RM. SME command not found.
Oh, wait, which repo were we starring? Were we starring your repo?
We're starring yours because you said to star yours.
Oh,
Because it
that's...
said... I was like,
sorry.
is that a problem? But I didn't think it was a problem because
hold on.
under the index it says...
we actually were... yes, we were starring the wrong repo. We should have been starring Mish Manners Get Twitch.
But that means don't we have to change it?
No, hold on.
Because in
Wait,
index...
go back
to...
no, hold on, real quick.
Okay.
Just go to your SME that's running, where we have the webhooks. You should have one event. There it is. That's me.
Okay.
That was me who just did it. So yes, Daryl Duck he got it. It was an user error. We were starring the entirely wrong repo. We should be starring Mish Manners /Twitch, not BDougie.
I thought we were starring yours because if you go in the code, doesn't it still have your repo?
So yes, it does. This is funny.
See, yes. This is what I got confused because it says Twitch. It says repo owner BDougie. That's why I was like, oh yeah, well it's not.
Yeah, and that's the confusion because there's other chat integrations. So there are chat integrations for specifically to handle this with Compy.js. But the thing that we're working on is the actual webhook. And the webhook was installed on your repo and not ours.
Right. That does make a lot of sense.
So I think we need to make a decision. Should we be starring? Which repo should we star moving forward?
Mine.
Okay, so from now on, everybody, if you're here, we're going to be starting Mish Manners repo. Now we're going to write some CSS. Apologies for the delay, but this is how you code.
That's good. We learned lots of things. Everyone go start my repo. Can I start my own repo? I can actually start my own repo.
Yeah, and the thing about starring is something that it was a conversation that came up because I was looking for, I was Googling Yelp for open source projects when I was streaming actually on Tuesday. And stars are really meant for saving projects for later. Stars not really a metric to identify the top projects on GitHub or how well you're doing as a maintainer. Stars are really just for how many people want to save your project. So that's why you can star your own repos, because if you want to go to github.com/stars, you'll see your project listed in your saved repos.
So we're getting the events happening. How come they're not coming up through here? Is it just because it's delayed?
What are we looking at here? This is localhost?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I don't know, but if you, sorry, your dark mode for Chrome really throws me off. This looks like a blank screen.
Oh, yeah.
If you open up the Chrome console, you'll be able to see the answer to your question.
Chrome. Oh wow. Whoa, there's people like writing things in here. This is the chat for GitHub. What the heck?
Yes. So
This is
this is
funny.
the
This code is
so
using. Oh, this is so cool.
yeah, so the reason why that the GitHub channel is put into gif.js is because again, this integration is more than just starring repos. It's actually a full-on chat integration with Twitch. So if you want, well, technically we're capturing GitHub chat.
Yes.
So, and the beauty of this, if like you went to Stream Elements or Streamlabs and built your own chat integrations, like this is the backbone of how you would start that. Now, because the way the code is written, it just puts the chat into the console. But we can actually create some CSS and put it on screen if we really wanted to.
So that's what we want to do, right?
We don't want to do that yet because that's. I mean, we want to make this a YouTube video after the fact, and we don't want to put anything that be unsavory for YouTube. But let's focus on the webhook first before we get down that.
So
like, that
we're obviously getting the events now, which is good.
So everything's working. We just happen to be starring the wrong repo the entire time. Who would have thought?
Fan.
I don't know why you're not getting the GIF on screen.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure why that's not happening. Do you reckon
if you hit a hard refresh on that page, would you see anything?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so there's the GIF. So I think right now there's something that's not connecting, which is actually something we could probably debug, because that chat is not being received through. Sorry, the webhook is not being received and powering the events.
Yeah. So how do we debug that? Like, obviously we're getting the event. We can see them all here as well.
Yeah, so it'd be there's a top level project file called index.js. We could actually just walk down that, and I'll explain a couple things.
That's good. Okay.
So yeah, so line 1 through 3, that's us including a couple things. The .env is for a secret WebSocket WS. That's the thing that we've been handling, receiving the events, the webhooks, really. The WebSocket is actually how you receive the webhooks. And then Express is what actually puts stuff on the screen. So that's how you're seeing the image. Okay. It's actually powering a web server. Line 6 is actually OctaKit webhooks. It's a great tool. Actually, tomorrow right here on GitHub, folks are asking if GitHub's been streaming. We've been streaming since, I think, May of last year. And we've been doing open source Fridays. We don't do every Friday. We try to do as many Fridays as we can get guests. But tomorrow, Friday, tomorrow as in the American time zone tomorrow, we will have the creator of OctaKit webhooks actually on stream with me chatting about a new tool he built. So just want to give a shout out because it just felt like it fit. Line 9 through 11, we can kind of just guess that's how the secret's being handled. We're actually grabbing it that way. And then now at this point, we have the console.log, that output. That's actually receiving our webhooks. And this is what should be powering the code on the screen. Now, the question now is, why are we not seeing that?
So we should be getting const out, but name, event, payload, send login.
Oh, so okay. So if you actually went to your server that's running localhost 3000 on your terminal, that should give us. So this is SME. So we have another tab.
Oh, yep, there they are.
That is our beautiful error message. So to answer your question, why is it not working? It's that error.
What does that say?
I would scroll to the top. So these are. This is
because it's all the same thing. Okay, yeah.
So that's
signature does not match event, payload, and secret.
So that's the answer. Which I can translate that for you. But just real quick, I wanted to point out that it's not the same thing. It's a stack trace. So the stack trace is actually pointing us to file line numbers of where the problem is. So if we looked at that stack trace, we'd eventually find out what line number is broken. And it really just comes down to the signature stack trace means our secret is not matching. So the secret that's in your repo setting up your webhook has to be the same thing that's in the .env file. And
which it should be. But
it should be. But we should double check just in case, because we did spend like a good 30 minutes on user error of the repos.
We did. It's definitely the same thing, unless it hasn't copied over for some reason. Okay, it's definitely the exact same thing. I literally just copied and pasted it.
And I get like the next step would be actually Googling that error message. Signal stack trace does match, not match, whatever it was. That's usually the best way to get closer to
Hey, it's working. Or is that just
the
because
solution. That's I think you actually have no idea if that's working or not.
Somebody
but the one
start
way,
it again, just in case.
the one way to see if it's working is just go to your terminal that's open. Yep, still broken.
Still broken. Okay, so let's go find. Signature does not match event payload. Could it be that? Probot error.
Probot, it's a good direction. Probot is actually another tool that GitHub created that uses all the tools we're using. It's just packaged into one tool.
Possible is that the webhook secret of the repository doesn't match with the webhook. We totally checked that.
Sometimes bugs just work themselves out.
It's literally the right thing though. I could change it and then see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, change it to something else in both places, and then restart the servers. Just make sure you hit update. And then while folks do that, I'll explain what Probot is. Probot is actually a tool I used to do a lot of work on back when I first joined GitHub. When I say work, I didn't actually contribute a lot of code to it, but I did create some videos and some courses and stuff like that for it. And it's kind of the predecessor to GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions being the sort of tool to do CI/CD, but also repo automation. Probot was really 100% repo automation. Well, I say was, it still is. It's an active project, but if you're interested in a video that I created, me building a Probot app, if you want to get like a really quick understanding, I just dropped one in the chat if anybody's interested.
Okay.
All right, so
there's something happening on screen.
All right, so that was 100% success 200. So your change, it looks like it worked.
Yeah, I just star event received.
Yep. So I don't want to say that that the secret was incorrect, but
I didn't actually change it. I just restarted the server.
Oh, you just restarted the server?
All I did
Okay.
was restart the server.
I honestly think we never restarted the server. No, we did restart the server after we updated it from JSON.
I just restarted it again. You know, when they say, like, you know, if in doubt, turn it off and on.
Well,
turn it off and on.
What CS Alex said, sometimes bugs just work themselves out, and literally that's what happened. So we are now at the point where
it looks
everything
like it's
is
actually doing things.
Yes.
Stuff is on the screen. Somebody star it again, just to see.
Yeah, you can see those. You see those post requests down on the bottom. There's 200s. If you stay on the screen, you'll see another one come through. So we have number 5 come through.
They're coming through. Okay, they're coming through.
All right, so folks,
they're working.
This is the repo that we just dropped in. Actually, I don't know if you need the. Yeah, I'm not sure where everybody's at with the if how much context you have, because I know people jump in and out of this thing. We now have a working product, which I'm super excited about. We now, every time you start that repo, the Daft Punk the cat will come up. So I think something we should be doing is, one, we should probably say who is starting the repo, see if we can get that context on the screen. And then the other thing is probably add some CSS to that name. Okay. So I'd keep the Daft Punk the cat there. And then maybe below, we can add the name of the person who started the repo.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, so now here's gonna be the fun part. If we're gonna need to read the payload to understand what context we're gonna get, so that way we're not shooting blind from the hip. And I think the best way to do this is going into. Actually, if you went back to your localhost, if you scrolled up, localhost in the server. Accepted false. Oh, so these are error messages. That's fine. If you go back to the SME.
It says people.
Okay, so see how we have the name there? We want to be able to grab that name
and
move it into, put it onto the screen. So this might take a little bit of work, and it might actually let's take a step because we're going to need to do some architecture and planning.
Mhm.
So we have two different things we're going to do. We originally came here that we were going to edit some CSS. That's going to be something we could do, or we can get names on the screen.
Can't we do
But I don't
both?
think we can't do both at the same time. So we'll have to pick one or the other
Why can't we do both at the same time?
because that's how programmers fail.
Okay, do one thing at a time. Let's do CSS because that should be. Oh, actually, why don't we let the chat decide?
All right, chat. Do you want to see us do some JavaScript and get your name on the screen, and that would be satisfying, or do you want us to do some CSS, some copy and paste CSS?
JS. Everyone's like, make it pretty. No, CSS, JS.
Okay. I think for this, looks like we're mostly JSS. Emotive better out. Yeah. So Michelle, looks like you're going to be doing some CSS on your own, or we can do it at the end. Honestly, I think the CSS is going to be pretty quick.
I think so. Let's do the names. I like getting people. I like people having a bit of personal touch. Oh yeah, Twitch does have a poll feature, isn't it? That's okay. We're going with JavaScript. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean the voting's over. So the now basically we can do some deductive searching by looking for that star event received word. We already have some code that's already doing the work for us, and it's probably going to be in our index.js. And
which is where
I'm saying it. I'm saying it like I didn't write this code, but for the sake of everybody who hasn't seen this code yet, we should find that.
So
it's actually
line 14, is it? This one?
Yes. Yep. That is it. So we need to be able to. So what we're doing is we're getting a payload directly from the webhook event, and then we're console logging that directly to the console that we're. I mean, this might be obvious, but I'm not sure where everybody's coming from. But everybody loves JS apparently. Use JS to mod CSS. JS and CSS that they don't mix well. They do mix well. I'm just kidding. But we need to be able to get this payload sender to our localhost server. So this is going to be some good work. So we already have that output that's being console logged, that output on line 15. I think what we probably could do is
it is actually being outputted. It's just black text, so you can barely see it.
You're saying the text is actually on the screen?
Yeah, well, it was. It was just black. You can't see it.
Oh, sorry. Go to the localhost. Are we already doing this?
We are. So the localhost shows it as white. The black, where'd it go? Localhost shows it as white, but when we go to here, it shows it. Yeah, see, starred git titch.
Yeah. So, but we don't have their name there at that point.
No, we don't. So I don't know. Outlook just decided to open itself.
Okay. All right. No reading email. We're writing code right now.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I don't know about email. Go away, Outlook.
Yeah. So the client's receiving the output, but we're putting different words on the screen. So we haven't actually handed the payload all the way over. Daft Punk is over.
Yeah, so if we look at it now, it's on the screen, and it should be a little bit of black text. You can just see just above it. There. Did you see it?
But that's also I did see it, but it's also completely different. So basically, Daryl's kind of explaining it. Like right now, we're looking at the server context, and that's saying names. In the client, which is our HTML page, it's saying something completely different. It doesn't say anybody who started the repo. So what we need to do is actually pass in the data from who started the repo to the front end client, basically. And this app is pretty simplistic. Where on line 13, we're actually grabbing that data. We're console.logging, but we're not actually doing anything on line 21 to the what am I trying to say? The WSS client.
Yeah. Okay.
But it looks like on line 23, we're sending it to the client.
Yes.
Where it's not actually receiving it. So, let me see. We're going to the App Express. Sorry, it's been a while since I actually wrote this code. October 15, 2020 was the last time which I just looked at the last commit history. So I think we're passing it to the client, but we're not actually passing it to. Okay, the client itself on line 13 is actually what our server is.
Yep.
But we need to get it. We need to get it to line 42. So we should be passing it to in a.
42. There. Console.log. Service started on port 3000. Is being logged to the console. Well, it's being logged here.
Yeah, and that's still going to be our backend. So
Yeah.
I think what we'll probably do, ClientJS needs to not log to console. Lots of T. No, you are being, it's being logged to the console. The ClientJS needs to not log to the console.
That's the error log. And name, ID, name, payload. Where do all these come from?
Those are all coming from our backend webhook receiver server.
So from here.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, that's where we're outputting it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, sorry, I'm watching Daryl and Planner go back and forth on this. So I think the best course of action is actually just trying to get that data into our Express server. So what I'm gonna actually look up, could you just Google? We're gonna do some Google Foo real quick.
Let's do it. What do we go?
Can we Google WSS Express?
That's it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look up in the documentation on how to
Under
provide that.
npm.js, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and it looks like we can do
WebSocket.
ws.send. Let's try that.
What was that? Sorry. ws.send.
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at what's the best way I can send this to you. Can I send you a message in Slack?
Yep. I'll open up Slack.
Yeah, so this is actually the WebSocket server that we're using with Express that works together.
That was literally the page I had open.
Yeah. So this doesn't explain how to pass the data. Make sure your Express module before loading, routers, Express after setting up Express WS, WebSocket routes. Oh, is that you? WS and
I don't
JSON.
know what that was. This is the link we're looking up.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know where that came from. Some random thing off my copy clipboard. Okay, make sure. Full example. You need the middleware. So this one, console.log middleware.
Yeah, and we have the middleware on line 39 of that file we were just looking at.
There you go.
That middleware should be able to receive the rest of that context, so we can get the payload from the middleware. That would be my guess that we can get. But have to listen to 3.7 console log socket requesting
server optional output express. So
that's the webhooks middleware, not the WebSockets. Okay, yeah. So I'm conflating two things.
Yeah, I was like, that says webhook, right? Is that the same thing as web?
Yeah.
Socket?
So the line 41 initialized the web server to be used by the WebSockets. I wonder if we could actually pass in some arguments to line 42.
Okay.
And this is me basically shooting from the hip. So on line 42, after the word the number 3000, there's those parentheses.
Yep.
This is a place we could actually put in some arguments.
In here.
Can you just put the word X there, or is just the letter X? And then in the console.log to the right, can you just add a comma after the last parenthesis?
X.
And then add X, yes. So I just want to see. Again, this is how I code. I shoot from the hip. We'll need to kill the server, restart the server, and we'll see if that X gets printed to the server.
Okay, so kill this over here.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, sorry. That's the. Which one is this? Is the local host? Yes.
Yes. This is what
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay, cool. Whoops. We
All
already
right.
stopped it, I think. Yeah, we already killed it. npm stop. Undefined.
Okay. so that.
So X
shooting-
is undefined. Is that what it means?
Yeah. So there are actually no arguments being passed to the web server. Apps middleware. So we'll need to actually look up to see what indeed the middleware is adding for us. Then webhooks.middleware.
App.use webhooks.middleware. So we can't do any like so X is we didn't define X anywhere, right? That's why it's giving us that error, right?
Well, we didn't define X, but sometimes in JavaScript we'll pass in extra arguments like error messages directly in there. So I was just shooting from the hip to be able to see if there was an object being returned that we weren't looking at. The other thing that we can look up is that up on the top there's OctoKit's webhook. So that's what the webhook is providing to us.
That is back up here, yeah?
Yeah, and I think what we probably could do is see if there's OctoKit webhooks. You can actually Google that. You'll get another npm page.
Okay.
That will give us. I don't know if that's actually going to give us. Actually, there we go. It does give us a payload, and that's what we're using. So yeah, is this the GitHub page or the npm page?
This is the npm page. Do you want the GitHub page?
npm is fine.
Okay.
I can't tell what the dark mode.
So Daryl's saying line 22 is mirroring the webhook info to the client.
So line 22.
Line 22. Here it says if JSS equals WSS.clients. Hey, no JS, I know. Woo! No, for each client, it's sending the output. That's what we were getting here, right? Back here,
Yes.
we're getting a output for each thing that's happening. The client needs a WebSocket listener. So I should go back and remove X. Is that right?
Yeah. Remove X because that's not going to give us any benefit. If you go into the public.index.html, once you delete that code that we put in, we can show the WebSocket listener.
This one here, is that it here? Line 14? Am I right?
So the code is reading the webhook and then forwarding it. Yes. And so I guess my next guess would be if we were going to. Yeah. Okay. So we're in the right place. Here is where I'd probably add another on open. We get a connection that's been established. I receive the message e.data. Okay. So line 20, I received the message e.data.
Okay. So that's what we need to change, is it?
Well, actually, the thing is.
Because it's saying here, I received a message, star event received. So it's giving.
Oh, gotcha.
It's giving whatever that message. Well, it's not there now.
Okay. So this is where we can do our magic. Okay. So this is it. Yeah. So Daryl, everybody, we're finally to the point we are. So we need to be able to find. We have E, and then we have E.data. I wonder what would happen if we if we comment out line 20, and instead just do console.log E.
Okay.
So that way we can see the full object.
Console.log E.
Yep, and save that, and then go into our Chrome console. And you're gonna have to help me out a bit with the Chrome console because it's extremely small.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't even. There we go. I can actually zoom in on it.
Yeah, and you can even pop that out and make its own window, so that way you're not constrained to. Yeah, that works perfect. So scroll to hit refresh and scroll to the top of the console.
Okay, so let's refresh that. Okay, well, okay, so message, hi there, I'm a WebSocket server.
Yes, that. Thank you very much, WebSocket server. Can
Yeah,
you hit
thanks,
the
that's all it is.
the down arrow to expand that a bit?
There we go.
Yep, and then do we not have a payload that says so and so started the event?
There we go, down the bottom. So that's the next one. Message received. Start event received. Origin, localhost. Source.
Oh, there we go. That message event, start event received. Why is that? Okay, well that comes in. That's actually perfect. So we're getting a message event. We just need to get the message event data, which is then getting logged to the console.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I think what we need to do is this. Yep, actually, there we go. See where Planner says unstarred and starred? Actually,
Yes.
sorry. We need to actually comment out their comments. Everything you made is in data. Yeah, correct. So we just need to make this less noisy so we can do some work with that. So
Okay.
go back to the index.html.
Yep.
And we don't want there, we can actually just pull, for now, let's comment out the GIF alert. Actually, we can leave the GIF alert because we can work with that. Sorry. Let's comment out.
Remove flex. Flex. Alright, sorry. We're commenting out which one?
Actually, this is all fine. We can just pass in the data as an argument, perhaps.
Into here.
Yeah, actually, let's not break any of that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Don't break it.
I
The
think what
server
we
should send a JSON object instead of a string so we can grab the name of the user.
okay. I think that might be a better idea. So let's go back to so basically, I'm just going to explain real quick so that way for my debugging purposes and everybody else who's watching and for you, we can just connect the dots.
Okay.
In the index, in this page, we ended up discovering that the WebSocket receiver is here. We are actually, so when do I start? Yeah, we got to send him our resume, or sorry, you got to send your resume over, Daryl Duck. The webhook receiver happens between line 14. That's where our socket gets started. We're opening the socket between the backend server to our front end client, and the front end client is where we're sitting right now. And then on the messages that we're receiving from the WebSockets, so not to be confused of chat messages, these are messages from the server to our front end. They're now console.logging e.data. E.data at this point is so-and-so. Well, it's basically everything. It's unstructured, or so it's getting a string data.
It's everything. So boot, unstarred, and starred, and that's the event there actually. So we
it's. And you can actually see if you go back there online, if you look to the right of this, like the top part is what we want. All the stuff on the right is is the GIF.js messages. So to make this easier for us to debug, we should probably just comment the Comfy.js chat on line 57. So that way we stop getting the chat messages from Twitch and we can just get chat messages for.
Okay, so we go to line, what one? What's that under? Is it under this one?
It's the GIF.js.
We got there. This one? 57?
Yeah, I would just comment 57 to 59, just so we can only get the stuff we're trying to work on, and we get less noise to where we're.
I'm learning this. I'm picking it up.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, save that. We'll want to uncomment that later.
Yeah.
But for now, let's go back to the console.log. Just to ensure we're getting their. That's the only data we're getting in the. Yeah, let's go ahead and hit refresh. Yep. And then we have the message event. Okay, so.
Hi there. Oh,
now,
WebSocket server.
So what Daryl was saying is that in our data, instead of sending just a string, "Hi, I'm a WebSocket server," and then the next string is going to be so and so started event or whatever. We should probably just send JSON so we can just pull the name directly out of it. So we can structure this. We have the ability to structure the data in the way we can manage it. So go all the way back to the index.js, which is going to be, again, this is our, it's a bit confusing because like we technically have a front end and a back end, but it's not very structured in folders that are named like that.
So
But
here
I'm
it
just
is.
gonna
This is it here,
yeah.
right?
And I'm just going to refer to this in the future just as our back end.
Okay, so this is all the messages that are happening here, which is the hi, I'm a WebSocket server.
Yes. So Glock works to do fix me to remind you to uncomment that later, which is a good practice.
Okay,
if
so
you
if
do,
I go to here, actually, so it was in the, so what do you say?
yeah, this is why the commenting to
like that, like fix me.
yes, yeah, because in that way you can search, or when we go to review this code, it's gonna jump out at us and say, oh yeah, that's right, we should fix this.
Okay.
And then if you
I did both to do fix me.
yeah, I mean, if we do forget about this, then we're all going to be shamed. That's why get blame is a thing, because then we can blame whoever left that comment in there, which in this case will be you.
Oh, okay. Thanks for putting all the blame on me.
All right, so
All right.
let's go back to our backend. Well, actually, we're here.
We're here. I'm back in it.
So this, the ws.send.
Yeah, down the bottom that I've highlighted. Yep.
Yeah, so we're sending. So wait, I'm actually share that blame around. Yes, everybody's actually pair programming with us right now, so we all get the blame. We'll add you to the. We're going to add collectively everybody in the chat to the commit history, so that way we all get a notification when we when the boss knocks on our door and says, "Hey, this code you sent." I'm the okay, gotcha. So the hello, I'm a WebSocket server. That's a string that we're sending. Could you scroll up, because that's going to be an issue if we change the JSON data to be JSON.
Okay, so this
is that something that sorry, I'm just like could you search? Sorry, I'm just asking if you do you see it saying hello, I'm a WebSocket server?
Yeah, down the bottom. Hi there.
Okay, gotcha.
Server. And then if we go here, it's like, hi there, I'm a WebSocket server.
Yeah, so instead of sending this like highs strings, we'll probably just want to instead send a message. We want to create some JavaScript objects that we can make in the JSON. Are you familiar, like when I say JSON, what that means?
Oh, not really.
Yeah, so actually just Google JSON real quick, because I'll probably do a better explanation. So while you're doing it, I'll explain.
I've
JSON.
got a bit of an idea, but not really that much. But okay, so this is cool.
It's the way you construct
data interchange format. So you got an object, like, okay.
Yeah, and it's a way to pass data back and forth. So imagine like if I send you a text message, it's going to send that data over to you. And the way the phone receives it receives it in a certain structure that's readable. And Daryl, I'm pretty sure Daryl, because Daryl's been pretty on fire of pushing us in the right direction, was saying to send the entire object as JSON instead of sending a string. Because what's happening is we're sending like these hi, I'm a WebSocket servers as a string. Yeah. And then we're sending a string of like, hey, here's some output as a string, and then some data. And like we don't know what to expect on the receiving end, on the client, and to be able to present that properly on the screen. Okay. So
working
for the
with
sake
JSON.
of,
thank you, Woodhouse, for setting this. Sorry that your URL
this is probably
banned, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what article you were looking at, but this is probably the pretty much standard of where you would find the context of this, of what JSON is. And I think that's probably a better description too as well.
Oh yeah, I did learn a little bit of this stuff.
Yeah, so this is the type of data we want to receive, and it's this type of data we're receiving from GitHub every time there's a star. Yeah. So for the sake of this,
Daryl's like, bitch, think dictionary and raise. Yes, thank you.
Okay, there we go. Sort of.
Yeah.
Which is it's a hard sort of too as well.
That's all right. I got what he meant. Daryl's the one that comes into all my C# streams. Helps me out with those. Oh, that's fine. Hey, Praytech, how are you?
Yeah, so what we'll probably want to do is we still want to send those messages, hi, I'm a WebSocket server. Yeah. But we can actually stringify, we can actually just make that JSON instead. So everywhere where we have ws.send, we're going to change to send JSON objects.
Okay.
So we can start at the first one, which is, I think it's going to be the message received.
Let's double check. It's not this one up the top. Event received. No, that's.
Anywhere where there's ws.send, we're going to have to send JSON.
Yeah. ws.send. I think that's the first one, but we can just double check it anyway, can't we? Yeah, it's only these two.
Yeah, okay,
so,
perfect.
Hello, you sent a whatever message, and then hi there on web socket server.
Yeah, so let's delete the string. Let's instead just send the message object on the ws.send, because I wonder if back out of that.
Like that?
No. Not like that. Don't change that one. We wanted to change the one on line 52. So we're gonna go top down.
Oh, okay. Sorry, this one. So just get rid of this and just leave the message there.
Yes. So remove the $2 as well. It should just be the message.
Just the message.
I don't know if this will actually work, but I don't know if WS is going to stringify our JSON for us or not.
The curly brackets around it?
No. We're going to assume that the message event will send as a JSON event.
Why not use the live code for VS Code?
That would make it too easy. Actually, why don't we use the VS Code Live?
How do you do that?
Do you have Live Share installed? Go to the square boxes on the left where the plugins are.
Is it live code?
Live Share.
Oh, live share. Oh, there we go. Install.
Yeah, so you want to install that.
Oh, then we can work on it together.
Honestly, it never even crossed my mind. See, this is why we have a chat while we're doing this.
I know, right? Is this the client listening for multiple events? Start your collaboration session. So I just go share?
Yeah, and you don't want to share your URL unless you want everybody else to jump in.
Yeah, it's everyone to jump. Well, we did say we'll blame you about. No, we'll just do you. So, what do I do?
So I would actually click away, and you want to sign in with GitHub.
Okay.
It will show your login credentials. It might show your email. I'm not sure if people haven't figured out what your email is.
Authorize for live share.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, obviously I'm hiding this game. I just wanted to double check what we're doing.
Yeah, usually whenever
Ready
I log in.
Ready to collaborate. Okay, open.
Usually when I log into stuff, I always hide my screen, mainly because you just never know.
You never know. Yeah, I'm the same. Okay, so allow an extension to open this URL. Signing in. Starting collaboration session. Is in the auto connection mode. Okay. Allow access. Let's get around my firewalls now. Invitation link. Copy to clipboard. Send it to anyone you trust in the chat. Make it read only or just leave it. I can just send it to you, obviously.
Yeah, if you send it to me, in Slack, I can grab that.
Okay, is that it?
Yep. I am now opening from Mish Manners. I think I can trust this.
Really? Can you actually trust me?
All right.
This is really
excellent.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's funny because
I had no idea this thing was a thing. How have I not had this? Literally not one person the whole time I've been live coding has offered this solution to me. People come in, they're like, no, go up, no, go here, and it's like, we could have just done this the whole time. Daryl's like, I don't know. I can, this was really good. I can accept or reject users. It's super handy for pair programming. I know, right?
Yeah, and what I usually do, so I don't usually do this on my stream, but every now and then, if I get to a point when I'm live coding, and folks are like giving me like gist and like this, I will definitely go and whisper folks and let them in on the coding fun. I also do this with design, so I do a bit of Figma as well, and I let everybody sort of join in on the fun on Figma because it's got the nice, collaborative design elements as well.
So we go back to us. Now, where are you? How do I see you?
I actually haven't. I'm getting the spinning wheel of death, so I'm gonna actually restart real quick. Restart VS Code.
Oh, it just said you left the session. It says read only. How do I fix that?
I have not the slightest idea, but I
have no idea how to change it to like not read only. This is cool though. Live share. Welcome.
Yeah, I wonder if I could yes, I'm joining the live share. It's just saying joining. That's the I don't know if this is going to be an issue if you're oh well, it's just showed up now.
Yeah.
So you can see my highlights. I think you can click on back to your Okay, well, I think where you can see the list of live shares. Actually, you might just go ahead and share your screen.
Yeah.
You should be able to enable me to have write access.
How do I do that? I'm just doing this here just in case. Settings, manage extension. Nope. Live share welcome page. How do I enable it to? Oh, it says session details. What's that?
Yeah, maybe we can Google how to do.
There's especially a live share window. It should come up with you. Oh, yeah, down the bottom. There we go. You are anonymous. Oh, I can see where you are. Okay, now if I make read write. There we go. So here we go, people. We can see. Yeah, I can see it now. So we found him. There he is. Whoa.
Yes, user.
You're a guest. She's got B-Doggy. The infamous.
All right. So I guess I can at least highlight stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And they'll make it much easier for me to point out things for the sake of moving things along. Speaking of moving things along, what were we doing?
We're taking
I think we're
the message. So we just changed this to message here.
Yes.
So we got rid of all the other stuff to just send a JSON instead of a string.
Yeah. So now here, what we want to do is we want to make this an object.
Sorry, someone just asked in the chat. I'm new here. What level of JS experience does Mish have? 0 to 0.5 maybe. like a tiny bit. Yeah. I mean, yeah, very, very little.
Learning on the job.
Learning on the stream right now. This is what
learning on the stream. My level of JavaScript experience would probably be, I don't know, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 maybe. It's not really showing right now, but yeah. So
you're funny. That's dev life. Learning on the job. I think that's what I like. I like this fact. You can like highlight stuff and do things. This is cool. Thank you, Tech Workbench, for showing us this. This is awesome. All right, now how do we go? So we've got the JSON object in there, and now we're going to remove this string first, yeah?
Well, we don't want to remove it. We want to keep surrounded by curly brackets.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to emulate JSON by doing the curly brackets on the outside, and then add a key to it by having a colon in before the high, or the quotes of the high. So right here.
Yep. Is that it?
Yep, and then before the colon, you want to create a key, and we can just type message.
Message.
Which I don't know if that's going to break anything, but we're logging the output to the console. So let's see, without doing, so there's 2 ways we could do this. We could do it this way, which I wanted to see if this will work. And if not, we can actually stringify it into JSON.
Okay. Also, like Glockworks message, is no better way to learn than getting your hands dirty. As long as we learn from our mistakes and they don't have big, large-scale impacts that just blow the whole company up. This is why we're not working on GitHub source code. Why we're doing live streams.
Probably not want to do that on a live stream.
That would not be fun. Imagine that, just break everything and then everyone knows exactly who did it. Alright, cool. So we've got that, so we'll save that.
Yep. Save it, and then we'll want to go to the local host that's running on your browser, where we have the console.log.
Okay, so there's still events coming through.
Yep, none of that would change. It's just the local host. We want to see what is being printed.
Nothing
so,
at the moment.
Yeah, just hit refresh.
Oh yes.
So we made a change to the back end. We want to see what event gets sent to the front end.
Okay. Console. Nothing.
Okay, and then real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and star your repo,
Alright.
which for whatever reason I'm actually not
I
in.
don't need to watch the stream to know who broke everything. Git blame is the thing.
All right, so I sent an event.
Oh yeah, there you go. So it says now data star event received B Dougie. And it says that's the data there.
So it just said star event received B Dougie. That should have updated to. We might have to end the server and restart it. That's probably what we need to do.
Possibly.
We're basically getting the same thing we were already getting before.
So it just end the npm server, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, this is code I wrote, so we don't have any hot refreshing or reloading or anything like that.
Okay. Connection is established. Alright. Error! Connection refused to your MP fever. Flex! Right, yeah, no, it didn't work. And if somebody stars and restars, what happens? Yeah, we're getting errors in here as well. Invalid archetype. So obviously what we did not work.
Okay, so let's go ahead and send JSON. And the way we're going to do that is JSON.stringify. To JSON.
Okay, what does that mean?
Do me a favor and just Google JSON stringify.
Stringify.
And there should be an MDM doc that explains exactly what that means. They'll have an example too as well.
An npm doc or developer Mozilla. Oh, sorry. Sorry for people getting banned. Oh, it was just JSON.stringify. That didn't work.
Yeah, so we want to take that pattern and
yeah. But this is actually how it's working. So converts a JavaScript object or value to a JSON string, and then replaces values if a replacer function is specified or included. Okay, that makes sense. So if we go console.log JSON stringify, and then we stringify whatever the thing is, that should give it to us as a JSON output, is it? So here. Oh yeah, you're now joined as B-Dougie. Oh, look at that.
Okay, so as you were doing that, why I had you Google is because I actually had to sign into my VS Code with my GitHub to be able to edit.
I thought so.
So that was on me.
All good.
All right, so I should be able to. Am I stuck in VimWorld? No. Nice.
Yay,
okay.
You can type things. All right.
So what I guess we could do is. Here we go. It's actually. Oh, I just deleted everything.
And then message like that. And double bracket.
Yeah.
And can we do the same?
So can you do the same thing on line 56, but surround the curly braces instead?
So here, so it'd be JSON.string like that.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep, and we should hopefully restart the server and see something that's not an error message.
Whoops, it didn't work anyway. npm start. Oh, there we go. We got the server started, so that's good.
Server starting, that is a good. I would think that would just see a string now. Oh yeah. Is it seeing a string? We don't want a string. But let's get a star going.
Star event received B-Dougie. Yeah, still a string.
It's still giving us
Still giving us data as a string.
Which is fine. Because we are actually we can just run with this. Because the data itself is what we need in that object. So if we could do e.data and send that to the GIF, I think we'll be good on that. And actually, there's even a spot for it too as well.
Okay, so we go back to the here, and then we get rid of this one.
No, actually, we don't need that yet. So keep that there.
Okay.
Go to the index.html, and on
This one,
line
21. E.data,
yes,
yeah.
yeah. So let's actually let's just delete 21 and uncomment line 20.
That's not. So delete this one.
Yeah, delete that whole line, and then we could see if the e-data is just legitimately just
yeah.
a string.
And we just have to refresh, won't we? I need someone to start the repo. It will be. Oh, everyone's like, I received start event received. Oh, it doesn't come up as a thing now.
So I received the message star event received. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just keep because we're getting a string as is, so we'll continue to move along this path. We can fix this in a second, but I just want to get these words on the screen, which I think all you need to do is on line, where is it? Line 22. There's an empty quote,
Yep.
or sorry, empty string. We can replace that with e.data. And then if we go into the gif.js,
yeah.
We'll need to go to new GIF. New GIF alert is the function.
Let me have a look at
on line 70.
Yep, here. And then we need to add that in, don't we?
Yeah, so
like that?
No, actually, so we don't need to add it in because we already have 4 arguments. The way GIF alert is receiving it as an argument of user.
Oh, okay.
And then user, we're actually seeing it on line 40 or 74. So we're actually already getting, since it's already string, we're putting that string on next to the other string. So right now, if we do go back to our local host, I think is this already embedded into our browser source? I can't remember.
Hi there, I'm a WebSocket service.
Yeah, so I just wanted to do that because I knew that would just put it on the screen. Now we can fix it instead of just like shoving our eyes into the console. So the hi there, I'm a WebSocket server. I think this is what we're gonna do.
That is e.data.
Yeah, that's e.data. So I think what we'll do is probably remove the what am I trying to get at? So let's go back to the backend. This is index.js. In order to make this work in the way that I think we can just get it on the screen and then move on, this is not going to be the best code, but it's going to be working code. So let's. Wait, that's interesting that
It's there. Why don't we get rid of that message?
That's the message. That's the message that gets presented when you refresh the page. So when you first get to show that it's working, we want to have something there because then we don't want to have a different situation when we start.
Oh, hang on then. Well, why don't you do this? If we go to localhost, if I refresh it, it should say hi, I'm a WebSocket server. Now if someone stars it, because that's the current log, that's the current e.data, and then if someone stars it, that should be the new e.data, right?
Yeah, and so let's just let's remove all that JSON stringify. Actually, let's actually just do JSON stringify, but only do the string.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Actually, let's just do this. We don't have to complicate this. There we go. We're gonna set the string. If you refresh the page now, as is, will it just show hi there? I'm a WebSocket server.
Yep. No, it says hi, I'm a WebSocket server. Start get touch.
We'll have to restart the server again.
How many times did this poor server have to restart? Okay, there we go. Hi there, I'm always socket server starred Git Twitch.
Okay, so now in the gift.js, on line 74, we're just going to remove that generate title because we don't need to. That was a placeholder that I had.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the like we knew they would, or whatever that the thing that I put in there.
Where did you get that from? Generate title.
That was my test message. The generate title is actually, so when you do a chat message, it generates words on the screen. Yeah. So it's a similar like a dictionary. It's a key value store to be able to present a title based on the type of chat message. I can show that a bit towards the end, but for now, since we can get the context of the user on the screen, I think we should focus on that.
Okay.
So now the message in index.js. Nodemon saves time when you're working without hot reloading. Oh, interesting. I say interesting, but of course, folks. Actually, not folks. Michelle, yeah? Nodemon. If you Google that word that they threw in the chat, this will actually get us to not actually have to kill the server every time.
Okay. Hot reloading.
If we use Nodemon instead.
Nodemon. Okay, so that's it there. Tool helps develop base applications by automatically restarting the node application. So if I go to here, so I need to kill that then, obviously, so I can type a new command in. So npm install g nodemon.
Yep, thanks chat. It's the little things though.
So it restarts on save IRC, so every time I save the file.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that you get for free when you start like a Vue app or a React app. So instead of doing npm start, you should do Nodemon instead.
Oh, okay. Wait, hang on. So npm.
No npm, just Nodemon.
Oh, just Nodemon. Okay.
Actually, cool. It looks like by default, yeah. By default, it will run Nodemon run or just the Nodemon run start. Is restarting time?
It looks like it started already. Look, it's
yeah. I think it inferred from your package.json because we do have start there. So I didn't do a lot of ergonomic and setting up stuff, but I did do that. So now we don't have to kill the server every time we change the index.js. So now let's go to the index.js. Also, thanks. I don't know who.
That was Run. I'm terrible pronouncing all these chat names.
I've been saying Plannard, but even though I've been putting even though you're the R in the end is actually reversed in my mind, but
Okay, so I'm just having a look what else I've got up here. So the repo name is Git Twitch, which is why that's coming up down here. Is that correct? Yeah, starred repo name. So the repo name's up here. So I could just go
this is
starred Mish Matters on Twitch, and that would work, right?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Right.
Yeah, and you could even do mishmanners/get Twitch, and then that would show up on the title. But also a reminder, we deleted that title generator because it was quite a bit of text to get on the screen.
Okay, cool. Alright, so then if we go down to
we should be in the index.js now because we need to actually.
Oh, sorry, we're back in Gift.
So going back to the back end.
Yep, here we are.
Yep, excellent. And at this point on line 52, we are sending the full-on message. Instead of sending the full-on message, we should probably be sending. Honestly, I don't know what we should be sending because I forgot what the object looked like at this point. It's like message, not data, but message.message. The data e-data is what we get on the front end, but we should be doing e-data or e-data.message. Okay, so that's what this should be. So actually, rather than instead of guessing, let's go back to the running web browser. We'll look for a star event. And here you go. I'll I'll give you a star. Why not?
I'll just refresh it just in case. Hi there, I'm a WebSocket server.
So you see,
Yeah, B Dougie.
I received the message, star event received. We actually just need to remove I received the message. That's the issue right there. So on line
Isn't it where it says received? Event received.
No, I think that's actually, is that built into the what we're
No, it's here. I received the message. Console.log here.
Okay,
line
that's
20 of index.html.
Yeah, so we should have just removed I received the message.
Just have E.
And we can get rid of the $sign, the curly braces. To line 12? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good?
Yep. Now we should be able to see if we're getting indeed what we thought we were supposed to.
Somebody star it. Might have to refresh it, but. Is Joey to make a Golang module? No.
Golang module. Alright.
Did you star?
I can give it a star now.
Somebody star it. Star event received. Yay, there it is.
Okay, so now we have the words on the screen. Now we'll just keep it as this. But maybe instead of star event received, we can actually change the words to like B Dougie starred the repo.
Yeah, how do we change that?
Well, we can legitimately go up to, what was it, line 12? I think it was like line 12, 13, around that area, where we're line 14. So line 14 is where we're building the message.
Here or different file? Am I in the wrong file?
This is the back end.
Okay.
Xcoding, welcome in. So this is still front end. Okay. GIF.js is still front end. So we want to go back end, index.js.
Index.js. Yeah, this is.
This is HTML.
Oh, sorry.
Also, still the wrong file.
That's still the wrong file too. Where is it? There. I'm in the right spot.
Yep.
Okay.
So line 14 of this file.
Event received.
Yeah, so we could actually manipulate the words. Like right now it says B Dougie event, or sorry, not recent. It just says star event. So name is
what happened, the event, and then payload.sender, that's you.
Yes.
So we can actually change that to say like B Dougie plus hang on, I want to see what I want to do. So what's it saying at the moment? It says star event received.
Yeah, so I think if we could actually just do say B Dougie gave a star, because I don't think we could do we could technically, like, we might not always be doing stars, so.
But this will work for this one.
Yeah, but the challenge with this hard coding the what we're receiving might get challenging. So like.
Why don't we do this then? Plus name. That theoretically should say B Dougie gave Mish Manners a star received. That's theoretically what it should say, right?
A star I don't know if that's proper grammar. So
no, it's not. But because the event is called, the name is.
It's star.
Oh wait, it's just star, is it?
Yeah.
Because that would work then. Because then it's what. Then we can change what. Then the events can stay the same. So that could be B Dougie gave Mish Manners a star. B Dougie gave Mish Manners a follow. B Dougie gave Mish Manners a pull request.
I think that would work.
Yeah, let's try that.
But
Start!
but the challenge though is what if this is not Mish Manners? We're hard coding Mish Manners into this, and this is why we had the repo get generated from the variables in
Then
the other
you would
file.
do that in well actually for this one it's yeah, but each person would be creating this for their own Twitch account, right?
Yeah, but each person would have to go find Mish Manners and change it change the hard coded manually. So basically,
Yeah.
I am asking you I'm asking you as a senior engineer, I'm asking you as a junior engineer, why we would hard code it basically.
Well, because I didn't think we could get the payload like this the login of the person who is being starred, or is that something?
So I think what we're actually I think the answer is basically we should only just be sending the name, and we could generate what happened on the other end in the front end. Does that make sense?
How do we do that?
So let's just delete everything the plus sign and everything after, because we don't need to know it's a star. We just need to know who did.
We're just getting the payload out there at the moment.
Yeah. So and honestly, this is what we really wanted.
It's a problem if we get if we do a pull request out into the upstream branch.
Yeah, and this is why like anybody can fork your fork, or you can actually merge this to the upstream, and then everybody wins. So you're benefiting the upstream, the original repo.
I'm a WebSocket server.
That's because we never deleted that. That's only the hi I'm a WebSocket server is only on refresh.
Yeah, so where's that?
Yeah.
We can like totally just get rid of that, don't we?
Well, I wouldn't get rid of it because we need to know whenever you refresh that it's not someone sitting a star, and it actually is the hello.
Right,
so like it would just say like WebSocket. You should say WebSocket server started, but I like hi I'm a WebSocket server.
Okay, we'll leave it for you.
It's cute.
Alright, somebody go start. I know GitHub, but I don't know from where. Everyone knows GitHub. Well, not quite everyone, but make it a variable stored in the config file.
Yeah, and that's what we have.
Well, because I was
that's
like,
what we're doing.
Well, because I was like, well, you told me to change my secret, so why is it that difficult then to change my name? But yeah, because that would make sense to have it in a configuration file.
In the future, like I would not put like right now we're hard coding even in the gif.js, we're hard coding b.e and GitHub and the repo. Like this should ideally be usable by any project, any repo. So like if we had an open source Friday on this channel and had like Vue come on, like we'd be able to say, hey, we're just going to change these quick environment variables, and this works in production. So ideally, who was it that said the sort of?
Planko! Yay! Thanks, Planko. It worked.
Oh, nice. So we're getting the events. Yes. I think what we should do is we should go back to so if you go back to the gif.js, we'll probably want to return that title now that we have just the user.
Okay.
So, and I think it was line 74 in the gif.js.
So see, we have to change it here as well. Oh, so this is a config file. Right. So we should have the username. So that should be the username there, and then we can put whatever we want.
Yeah, so this should be mishmanner/gettwitch is really what. And then on line 74, where we had to generate
a quick message.
Actually, you know what? I can actually change this too.
Okay. Yeah. OBS select for Git starring a repo. Yeah. What are we making? That's exactly what we're making. So this is a config file. So Twitch handle, GitHub. It looks like a generic app to load on GitHub Actions. So yeah, this one's for, well, that you should be able to do it. Why is Slack sending me messages? Go away, Slack.
All right, so on line 74, I'm just going to add some code back in that we deleted. Because then this is going to give us just a fully thought out thought and text on the screen.
Yeah.
and then that way when we do start the repo, which I keep if you think you have screens, I've got so many screens open while we're trying to
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Chrome windows, each with about 40 tabs. Whoops.
Oh. Okay. Well, if the stream goes down, we know why.
Luckily, my computer's good enough. It's, yeah. What GitHub API notifies stars?
So if you wanted to show that real quick, we're using the OctoKit webhooks, and it's a project we didn't really talk about much because we spent some time talking about it last time we were on stream.
Webhooks. Webhook
yeah,
is successfully updated. This is what we use.
So
Webhook.
Yeah, so we leverage webhooks in the repo, but they able to receive the repos. We're doing a combination of the OctoKit webhook library and then SME to do the sort of handling, receiving.
And you can choose which events we want. So just on a push, or send me everything that happens in the repo, or we're just doing stars. Otherwise, we'll get every little thing. Crazy.
Yep.
Whoa, getting decent to everything. Make it everything. That'd be crazy. Okay.
Awesome. So I think we have a working product, which is nice. Are we getting failures right now? Can you double check? I'm not seeing.
I don't think so. Nope. It says service starts. It says bdoggy, bdoggy, bdoggy. Planko, Amarat did it as well, and yeah, we're still getting events coming through. Ship it! Now
Excellent.
You say, mere mortals tremble before our creation. This is the general phase.
So before we do anything else, we should definitely write a commit message, and we should also push this up to your branch because we have success. And we should be looking at this.
I'm a WebSocket service star. Mishmatters.gitch like we knew they would. Somebody start the repo because that's the message for everything.
That's the default message.
Yes. Alright. Style the repo, style the repo, style the repo. Now I can go and style the repo myself. Planko star mishmatters.gitch like we knew they would. Yay!
Yes. So we can change that text to whatever we want. Now the front end is doing all the generation of the words.
So real quick, where is that text changed? Like we knew that would. That's here, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you go to line 74, I added back in the generate title.
Yeah.
And then if you look for a generate title, you can see that object, or in JavaScript it's an object. And other places they call them dictionaries. But here's where we're passing in the repo name from above.
Is for personalization. There we go. Cool.
And the other cool thing about this is that we're also leveraging so at the moment we're doing a couple different things. We could actually get some chat integrations from, we don't have to do this today, but if we change the repo owner if we change the Twitch channel to GitHub, if I type in,
I did that. It has been. I changed it back to GitHub ages ago.
Yeah. So so in the GitHub chat, I typed in yo.
bdoggy yo is hi.
Yeah. So that's another integration that I have in this chat. So if you type in pizza,
which is
with exclamation point
here, yo, it should pop up. Is this shared editor? Yes, between me and Brian it is.
Yes, we are sharing through live share.
So I could make as many commands here as I would.
Yes, and then you would basically, as you generate commands, then you could have separate GIFs that show up as well. It's pretty much this thing's your own little petri dish of being able to make integrations on Twitch. But yeah, they're all labeled. You see the sound effects, and if you scroll down, you'll see sort of how these are sort of handled as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Excellent. Pizza. So now the pizza and the yo command will actually.
Pizza was typed in chat. Yo was typed in chat.
Yeah, and they will also actually trigger some sounds too as well. Is that just FYI?
I don't know why the sounds aren't working.
maybe that's a good thing.
Probably. I was just be getting flex the whole time. Lols.
Yeah, I think we disabled. Oh, there we go. Line 73.
I
We
was like, I'm
disabled
pretty
the.
sure we disabled them last time. Yeah, audio play. We removed the audio.
Yeah, so the audio is not playing at the moment. So the pizza actually has like sparkle sound. They're all sort of labeled above. Um, but I think at this point we should definitely, if we haven't done yet, we should commit this into a commit message.
So what should we do? Whoa, okay, here they all are. This is, okay. So, chatbot integration works with username and starring Kubo. Wow, live share looks cool. It does, doesn't it? Okay, so commit to my branch.
Yeah, and it should be your branch. Make sure you're not on main.
Yep.
I think we're on
commit
style.
to style changes. Yep, it says
Yep.
down the bottom. It's just behind your head. Can't see it. And then
Gotcha.
push to the origin. That config info should definitely be in ENV.
Yeah, honestly, that is true. Like if we create an AMV file, actually that'd be a really cool little problem to solve. If we want to keep on this track of doing these live streams with this Twitch integration, we could probably make this thing pretty nice. Because I think you now have your bearings around everything, and I think I do too as well. But I guess what they're talking about is like instead of putting
like because obviously we have the env file which you copy and then you configure everything only in that file. At the moment you've got to create an env file with your secret, then you got to go up here and you got to configure all this stuff, then you got to go down here and you got to configure all this stuff here, or like these commands here. So so he's saying we should have all that configuration just in a config file, right?
Yeah, at least these where we're manually entering in handles. We should have a config file, and if there's no config, like if we haven't set up a Twitch chat integration, we should actually just have a default, and the default could be GitHub. The default could be bdougie/gettwitch, but we should have a like default set or database.
Which is
Daryl,
on the
you're adding scope creep basically, where you're making this this project way too complicated. Databases are a database would be great too as well. But for the sake of going through the process of sharing and how to build this thing, we're basically doing the simplest steps first. And I didn't mention, like, part of my sort of love for doing these chat integrations on Twitch is because the majority of Twitch chat integrations, even the ones that like you can leverage, they're very complicated. So if I go to look at the code of different chat integrations on Stream Elements, I have no context of how we got to this point, and I'm expected to basically use this. And then if I go and build this or like build on top of it, then I'm like, oh, I had just so much learning I had to do. So I've intentionally kept this simplistic, where it's all in one file. All the GIF interactions, the index.html is super simplistic. The index.js, the backend is just a JS file. Mainly because I actually want to write a blog post about this and do some content around it. And when you have simplistic stuff, it's a lot easier to teach when you don't have all this extra stuff to learn.
Yeah, and I think Lockwood's right. If we did a database that requires all our people who are eventually going to use it to do the same thing or overhaul everything, right?
Yeah, and GitHub doesn't sell databases, so there's no reason for us to use one of those.
Okay.
I'm 100% kidding.
Yeah, okay. So do I want to create a pull request now, or are we going to leave that like that?
You should probably create a pull request because we have a pretty fully functional feature, which we fixed the titles. We have not styled any changes, so I think we should not name this style changes.
How do I change
and the pull request title.
So chatbot integration.
Yeah, basically we functioning title and user names, because it's actually a legitimate feature we just added, being able to see who actually started the repo.
Okay, cool. So create pull request.
Yep.
And that should go checking. No conflict to the base branch. Yeah.
Yeah, and then one thing that I'll do, if I can ask you since you're here, if you can open up an issue to create a config.
So let's go new issue.
And I'll go ahead and review your pull request.
Config file. We should have a configuration file that includes the following configurable information. Secret, username, what else do we have? Username, repo, basically everything that was on that line there. Repo owner, repo name, repo owner, repo name. Is there anything else? Not really. The rest is fine. Oh, Twitch handle. Username / Twitch handle.
Yeah, our Rick Days, we'll have this on the YouTube channel in a couple days. I guess probably Monday. So if you're interested in watching the full thing, you can fast forward. You can also watch our first stream where we built the thing initially.
That's the first stream. And then we'll have the next one up, be the full one. Okay, there you go. My create config file is done. Alright, is there anything else I need to do on that?
There is, and I'm gonna have to reject this because we do have a comment that that remember we did a to do because we knew that who it was Daryl Duck or somebody.
Oh yes.
Knew we would forget to uncomment that, so I'm gonna have to reject your PR.
Oh no, bro. So I have to go back to do. So uncomment this.
Yes.
And then save it.
Yep.
And then go back to desktop.
And which is
update.
exactly why we we added that comment because we knew we would forget.
Push to Origin. Mish suffered at first rejection. I know, right? Now there's no changes. So what do? Do I go back into the pull request? This is good context. I've never done this before. So if is the pull request to open? Yes. So I should be able to add it onto this, shouldn't I? How do I do this?
Sorry, what was the question?
So I created a pull request and you rejected it. I've fixed it. Now how do I the pull request?
No, you can re-request reviewers. So if you go to the top to the pull request.
Yeah. What am I saying?
And you look at my face.
Yep.
See where it has the rejection. You hit the
request review. Okay.
Daryl Duck says, "Don't worry, he gets
3
rejections a day," which is that means you're doing something right. You're learning.
Okay. So is that okay now?
Yeah, it is. The only thing is that there's some white space that I'm just gonna fix myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, and I probably should have showed that one once again before I did that, but I did some
I can do it.
Okay, cool.
Push.
But other than that,
there are commits on the remote. They're not present on the local bench.
Yeah, that's because I just forced a commit from GitHub. So if people didn't know that, you could do suggested changes, and as a reviewer, you could also actually commit those changes. So there will be one commit from me on your branch, which tends to happen. This is like a super powerful tool because as a maintainer, sometimes you want to make a quick change that doesn't require to go the back and forth again. So I just did that. But it caused a little bit of issue for Michelle. She had to fetch and then push again.
That's all right. I can sort out all the issues.
I am actually going to approve your PR.
Woohoo.
And I'll put some exclamation points too as well. And then I'll add a GIF too as well. All right, and then everybody knows I like to squash and merge, so there we go. Merged PR. Wow, I would say that's a success after struggling through some user error at the beginning.
I think so too. Can you show how to do the suggestion thingy?
Yeah.
Yep. So,
I think we can do that again.
Yep. So do I have to refresh this page now?
Yeah, you can refresh the page, or I think you should be able to scroll down. It shows merge, right? Oh, there we go.
Ah, lols. Thanks for doing this. Yeah. Okay, now what do
Yeah.
I do?
So I think what you could do is, well, we probably have to make a quick change and to show this off. So maybe we could do some CSS real quick to center those words on the screen, because at the
Okay.
moment they're wild erratic.
Yep.
So let's see. We need to fix the CSS. Let me just look in the repo. In the public that index HTML, there should be a.
Index.css.
Oh, that's even better. I forgot I had a CSS file.
Yeah.
Which honestly we fixed last week too as well.
We did.
I
fixed a couple of things. But we should
Yeah.
just be able to go center, right?
Yeah, and it should be. We should be able to grab the. Actually, we can't grab it because we need to actually create it. So there is a class called GIF that's not existed, but we can use that. So if you went to line 30 and added a new line,
So
and just type in
GIF class.
it would be. You'll need to put a period before.
I was like,
yeah, got it. And I think you should be able to do text dash align center.
Dash align. That.
Yeah, that should work. We just need one of these.
Oh yeah, we need a. Sorry. Yep. Always forget them.
Yeah, and then if you refresh the page, you can see if the text gets centered.
Okay. Localhost. Refresh.
That's not. I don't know what I was thinking with that. That is not. Actually, let's just look up CSS tricks because I never know what the CSS is to. No one knows how to center stuff. But we do have some CSS grid in here, though.
Justify content center.
I guess we could do the justify content. We do have Flexbox.
Align items center.
I mean, at this point, we could try anything. Usually, I open up the Chrome console and then see what's available. And
there's a few of them. Text dash align center.
Yeah, and then we have.
Supposed to work.
So inside.
Oh, hang on. Don't think you need to apply to the GIF. You're using display grid, display flex, then justify content center.
Yeah, we are using flex on content, but we're actually not using content. So if you go to index.html, we could delete what we just added in the CSS. This will work, hopefully.
Okay.
Underneath the body in the index.html, where I'm at, you should be able to add a div.
Okay.
And that div should have a class called content. Because we already have the Flexbox there, we're just not using it.
Yeah.
And then we'll close that div.
Yeah.
And then we'll want to do one of these. Oop. Sorry, I'm using Vim on my end, and
fun.
Yeah, so if I think we can just align that, and that looks good.
Okay, right. Sorry, you wanted it all wrapped in a div.
Yeah, that's basically what we have.
Yeah.
And this content in the CSS, it actually is already doing all our center and aligning stuff. We just weren't using it.
Oh, okay. So save, and then if we go back. Oops, that's the div viewer. And refresh. Nope.
Not even close.
Didn't do a thing. But I didn't think we had. So there's a content class, but if we go back to the CSS, our content class didn't. It had align content center, not align text. Try that.
I don't think align text has actually. I think it's the max width. Daryl's got he's onto something.
Yeah, set max width. Okay.
And I think it's because So the thing is, we are inspecting the element. We can't inspect the element at the moment because what we're doing is, I didn't talk about the code that powers this, but it's actually removing the element away from the screen every time it actually disappears. So to inspect the element, we'll be inspecting only for 10 seconds until it goes away. So we could potentially use the Chrome console, pause the element, and then inspect it, but that might be a little extra work, similar to how we were doing earlier, trying to figure out this WebSocket stuff.
We've got all the centers now. Align content, justify content, text align, and then we need to set the max width, right? So is it max dash width? What is it? What should we make it?
Well, so I'm looking at the...
Because that one's that, so if we go just 1,000, that should work, right?
I mean, the only way to check is just by refreshing the page and looking at it.
Go check it out. Nope.
Not so much.
Container style display flex.
I like that the chat shows up on there. I'm just reading it. Sorry, I do have this working code in another repo, and I'm just going to look at it just to try to understand.
So here, open position, then add the hiding. Container styles display flex.
Oh, actually...
We've got the content here, display flex.
So I'm actually doing this in the... I'm doing this in the Baybot.
Oh, your Baybot has it, yeah.
The Baybot is actually using the alerts.
Oh, the alerts class. Oh,
alerts is using Grid. And Grid does a lot of the magic for you.
Which is already there, so we could just do that.
Yeah.
So we should.
Yeah, I don't know why I have the content there. I think I was playing around with something else.
Let's just leave it, and then we'll just change. This is.
Well, technically, that's dead. It's what we call in the business dead code.
Dead code, but we'll leave it there in case we want to use it for later, right?
No, I would recommend deleting it because we were looking for a change. So all that code is actually not being leveraged.
So that's
so we
fine then. Okay, so let's go check that and see if that works now. Nope.
Do you think we have to restart? We shouldn't have to restart the server because it's all front end. It's all restarting on its own too as well. Yeah, or does NodeMon not actually I think you have to restart the server.
Okay.
Because at the moment the way NodeMon works, it's not actually pointing to the index.html because that's going to be our static version.
Let's do npm start. There we go.
Nope, I'm completely wrong.
Cached? It could be cached. How do I remove cache just on this page?
The way I do it is if you... I use Command Shift and refresh.
Yep.
R.
Control Shift R.
So I think, yeah.
Nope, it's still stuck. And then just Shift refresh as well. No, it's still stuck in.
Okay, maybe we could inspect that element. Actually, I've got one.
Inspect.
Well, that's what's weird because we've added some. I think it's not applying the max width. Yeah, can you pop out the Chrome console?
Container.
Into its
document. New GIF alert.
Can you go to Elements?
Yep.
And then can you also let's get rid of the console that's tracking our messages. We don't actually need that. What we need is what's squashed up on top. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
So now we have this. So this still says GIF. P class GIF. Can we remove the GIF class?
Then there's the text CSS up here. Vertical line.
That's our CSS that we were just messing with. So that is our CSS, but we also deleted the GIF. So and the P class inside your, I guess I could technically do this on my end too as well.
Where's that though? The P class. Where's that?
I've got it highlighted.
So just get rid of that, right?
Yeah, because that's actually so. Before, can we just actually go back real quick?
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to explain something. Again, this was user error. We were applying a class to an element we weren't even using because the alerts themselves, they don't get applied to they don't get applied here. No, that's where the image is going. You
That's
can
what I was
delete
saying,
it
like,
because
what if,
you can't delete it because of the JavaScript.
yeah, I was
Oh,
like, where
so
does the image go then?
I think so. The image is actually getting inserted. Actually, this is a good time to actually explain how this works.
Okay.
If you go down to GIF alert
GIF alert.
on the GIF.js, so it'd be line 71
Oh, sorry.
of
Yep. So this
and
one here.
so the way this works and the way this is why this is kind of challenging because we're doing again I simplified this quite a bit because I didn't want to use a JavaScript library to make this work for the sake of explanation. But we're trying to find the container, and the container itself is defined. Actually, good question. Container is defined on line 2. And line 2 is where .gif is. So Daryl Duck was actually correct. Line 2 is where the GIF gets inserted into that container. So if you scroll up to line 2.
Yep. We got some new people in chat too. Hey, Kitty Slayer and Daniel Hart. Kitty Slayer.
Again, when do I start? Yeah, so basically this is what's powering putting the GIF on the screen.
Yes.
So this is our container. Applying CSS to all the other stuff was incorrect. For the sake of this, I think what we need to do is just change alerts into .gif.
So under this.
Under the CSS.
Oh, sorry, under the CSS.
Index.css.
Yep, there it is. So change this to GIFs, right?
I just know the singular. Unless was it? Now you're confusing me.
No, I wasn't sure.
No
it's
S.
just GIF. Yep, there is no S. Sorry, my bad. So save that. Save that.
And we can get rid of the alerts on the HTML.
We did, didn't we? Oh no, we did. No, we had a div there.
Yep. And now let's see.
Okay. So,
let's see if that works.
okay.
And now I'm curious what the UL is doing.
It works. Well, sorta.
Okay.
It's not centered though. It's still.
Well, real quick, close the Chrome console because your Chrome console being on the side is actually adjusting our width. So now we can kind of actually.
Yeah.
So so real quick, you can see the width. It does get ended at a certain point.
Yeah, because I was adjusting it in and out.
Yeah. So now we don't now. So now Daryl is basically saying now the max width.
Exactly. So that max width is working, but now we just need to text a line.
Well, right now we don't have max width. I think we actually deleted that. We have width. So at the moment we're what do we call it? We're not. You just need to align using Flexbox or Grid. Yes. So can we go to? You had a page up that was about aligning text using Grid.
Yes.
So explicitly setting it. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, aligning centering text using Grid. I have no idea what that says. It's kind of small.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find that's position using float.
Float would be not what we want. Display grid. Oh, yeah. Display grid does all the work for you. All right, so I think we can remove text align center.
We've got display grid here, yeah?
Yeah, so all this other stuff we don't need.
Okay. Now what do we need?
And we can do justify content center is what Daryl Duck is saying.
Which is what we had up, which is what we deleted before.
Oh, did we added all that other stuff? Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Right.
So that works, right?
Yeah. Not so much.
Whoops.
It should be actually. Let me Google this on the.
Yeah, so it's still aligned. Love was it? Wait, no, what? I like Daryl. Daryl was like, no, don't do that. Come back. do it for the parent div of GIF.
Oh, the parent div of GIF, which we don't have one right now. So got it. So instead of doing, so let's change GIF back to alerts, and then we'll return that div. Yeah, okay, I understand where that really came from, because we are going backwards
So we
into
still
where
need
we
a
were.
GIF here?
No, we don't need a GIF. The GIF's not gonna
Okay.
not gonna do much for us. Sorry, I'm deleting the wrong stuff.
That's all right.
Let's delete some of this white space too, because that's gonna get rejected in the code review. All right, so going back to where we were, I'm just undoing exactly what we did, and we're kind of back to where we started. We had this working, but then we had some extra code that wasn't working, and then we were applying it to the wrong spot. So I went to the index.html and added alerts back to so that we have a parent div. If you want to show that real quick.
So here.
Index, just one above. Yep. Yeah, so I just added this back in.
Okay.
So now basically what we have here is a parent class, which is alerts, that's going to align everything that's underneath. So this is what gets text centered, or sorry, justified centered.
Okay.
So now if you hit refresh, stuff should be in the middle of the page.
First. Now it should go middle of the page.
Nope. Now I'm just baffled. That is what we did.
What happened to max width? We deleted it.
That is a good question. Why is GIF a p tag and not a
div? We need max width or width. Applied to GIF.
What is the width of the body? Does the body have a width?
Up the top, it just has it doesn't.
Can you just type in width one? Remove the max width from alerts and attach that to the body.
Okay. Now let's try that.
No.
That was shrink, not a line. Yeah.
Yeah, remove that from the body. Yeah, this is CSS.
It should be on .git, but we don't have a .git because we deleted it.
We can create it again. Okay. So what should be on .gif?
.git should be max width. Well, .gif, sorry. Yes. So max width. Is there anything else that should be on there? Let's give us some width.
Yeah, everything that I'm seeing, the only other thing I could think is we could switch the GIF to be from a p tag to a div, which is not going to change much, but it will. Oh, you know what? We're embedding. Let's change the GIF from to a div. So let's go back to the index.html because we're trying to embed some other like H1s and stuff like that inside of the p tag.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is actually just change this to a section because I think we could use semantic HTML.
Okay.
And then the p tag we're going to change to a div.
Yep.
And let's see. I don't think this is going to do anything, but at least we can understand what we're looking on. 100 vertical width and 100 vertical height on the parent, display flex, item center. Yeah, we could switch to Flexbox, but display grid should do everything magically on its own, which is why this was originally using display grid. You are using Chrome, right? We're not using a magical browser.
Using Chrome. Well, That fix the width. Grid does not
Um,
align.
got it. It doesn't do align by default. Can you apply the .gif justify content center?
Yep. Display box align items justify center.
So that's so right now that's Flexbox. I think Flexbox would be great, but I was under the impression that Grid did a lot more magic for us out of the box.
Well, it's saying like so you need two. You need a box which has got like a line.
Flexbox all works. What is this? Yeah, let's
And then you need something else inside the box. So this is saying like the dotted line is the flex box, and then the box is the box inside it.
Yeah, so I switched it from Grid to Flexbox because we're not really missing anything. Oh, set the background color to red. Okay.
Oh, just the troubleshooting.
Yeah. That's how you troubleshoot. We got it.
Okay. This makes a lot of sense though. So saying this is the flex box, the dotted line, and then this is the box inside that's being set to the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's save that then. Align items center.
All right, one of these will do it, and we'll also see some colors on the screen too as well.
Yeah. Alrighty. No colors. Let's turn off dark mode. No colors. Is there something not working when we save this file?
That would be interesting. Because, yes.
Oh, cache.
See what
Yes,
thing is.
sorry. So, Control Shift R. Well, I'm refreshing the cache.
If you do Control Shift R, but open up the Chrome console.
Fail to load resource.
That is because we don't have a favicon.
The background changed, so it's not a cache issue. No,
Yeah.
I changed the background.
Yeah, you had dark mode on.
I switched it from dark mode to not dark mode. Probably getting really late where you are, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty late. I don't know what in the world is happening here, and nothing that I would have thought would have worked other than like restarting the server, which I don't think it's gonna make a difference because you can see these. Yeah, just don't because we're serving static assets, so restarting the server is not gonna change it. Alerts, GIF. Can you go to the index HTML? Are we injecting the? Yeah, we are. Line 3. It is index.css. Why don't you go ahead and create a new PR? And what we'll do is we'll just we'll drop the PR, and if anybody wants to do some offline debugging, I'm sure this is like something really quick. And I was trying to avoid this like cloning this on my own and letting you struggle in silence while I figured it out, which is like what most most
so
team members would do.
Look at this now. I can't. Oh, hang on. So commit. Let's just go working. Username and follow working. CSS not working.
Well, I'm glad we didn't go with the CSS first.
Daryl's like, I can fix it easily. I have courses on this stuff.
Yeah, it's probably something super trivial. And I don't understand why the it seems like the CSS is just not connecting because even the background color red and purple.
Yeah, nothing's working. It's probably just something silly. I mean,
Yeah,
last time it was because you had the wrong name. You had style.css.
Yeah.
And it was called index CSS, so we fixed that.
Yeah, and now we have CSS in the
I'm not sure.
Oh,
let's
is
go.
it I think is it the style tag link? All right. I'm going to check one more thing, and if that's not the case, then we can bail on this.
Okay, create pull request. Where are we now? It could be have size 0, could be getting overridden. Where's that? Under size.
Okay, can you do this real quick?
Yep.
Go back to the index.html.
Yep.
And then on line, was it 3, where we have type?
Yep.
Let's change this entire thing to rel style sheet. I don't think this is it, but
What do you mean by? Do you want to type that in?
yeah,
So
actually,
is
I
it
can just type it in.
rel Style sheet. Okay. What does that do?
This is just changing our imported style sheets to a different from type text CSS to
Style. No, that's
style
wrong.
sheet.
Daryl.
No, we're using relative or absolute path for CSS.
We're using relative, aren't we?
Yeah. This is why modern web frameworks do all this for you.
I reckon we do the pull request. Rel attribute for link tags is what you need. Apparently.
Can you see if anything changed in the browser? If you got an error message.
Red dot there though. No style attribute.
No. Oh, sorry. That's right. I don't know why I put style. It should be rel. I put style, but I wanted to say rel.
Okay.
I was typing something else.
Wow.
Yeah. So there was a way we were importing the style sheets. I don't know if that ever worked. But that was the so all the CSS that we have. We got a lot going on right now.
Wait, we do. I was like, what the heck? Where did all that just come from? I don't remember changing all that.
Well, that's the original CSS, and I guess it's been broken since the beginning for some reason.
Wow.
I honestly, sorry, I need to actually blame real quick, and need to figure out what happened there. I might have took a contribution from someone.
Can we remove all the background stuff now?
Yeah, so we can start removing some of that stuff. So move the background color, and then we can start seeing if if anything gets updated. So I'd leave that center, yeah, and see if that gets centered. Interesting.
It's huge.
Yeah, so this is the text shadows that I have below. This was imported code from the Baybot itself. We can comment out the text shadows below.
It's just huge, the whole thing. So okay, so
yeah, this comment out from 31 to 40.
Yeah, I got it. I get it.
You should be able to hit command and / too as well to comment.
I have to comment a whole lot. Okay, let's just save that. And that shouldn't be too crazy.
So now we should at least
There we go.
Okay, so
it's centered on the screen, but the text itself isn't centered. But that's all right.
Yeah. So yeah, we have everything centered at this point. In the text itself, I don't know why it's not centered, but I think that's an easy fix now that we actually have CSS working on the page.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually delete all the text shadows too as well. That's
just delete
we're gonna probably want to put some not so obtrusive text on the screen, something that blends with what we want anyway. And actually, we can delete all this stuff. This is all the text shadows, keyframes, animations.
So we can delete all the fade-ins. Everything, all this down here.
Yep. Yeah, that's just all my custom CSS from another project I imported. There we go. So now we have everything working. I don't know why the text is off a bit, but I think what we probably should do is commit what we have.
Why is that not liking that? It's not liking my close bracket.
I think that's not needed. That's why.
Really? Oh, it really isn't. Oh, because
Oh no, actually,
No,
it's the.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just looks like everything is this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. It looks like stuff is not all aligned with the body. There we go.
Oh, right, and then we want. Okay, let's just. Oh, puts it over there.
I mean, it's a stylistic choice. I don't think we need a display flex on not on GIF, but we could do.
We could do other things. I think we probably need to finish it there.
Yeah, let's go ahead and commit that because we do.
Okay, we'll get rid of the display flex and that. But yeah, so we'll commit this so we don't.
Yeah, and then push it up to your branch so that way it's available.
Yeah.
In the internet. And then we could actually, yeah, we'll definitely end it there. I enjoyed this because I think we had flex direction. Yeah, so we had the display. Yeah, I guess that kind of works. Sorry. I have just one more erratic change coming.
Okay. Display.
Flex and then flex direction.
Center. Or column or whatever it is.
Yeah, and this basically makes it top down.
Okay. And then align items. Align items.
Yeah, back in my previous life when I did no justify content, got it.
Yeah, I'll get rid of that one.
I used to do only front end UI work. All this was like pretty, like I was doing that at a time when Flexbox was getting very popular. So I knew all this stuff by heart, but it's been a while. That's why I use things like Tailwinds to do the job for me.
CSS Flex cheat sheet. Complete guide to Flexboard. Sweet. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, it should have worked. Let's have a look. Yeah, not quite, but it moved everything there. It's just the actual text itself is not aligned to center.
Yeah, it's because our max width.
Really?
Yep.
Huh, there you go.
So now
No, it's still not aligned center.
All right, so there we go. We should definitely commit what we have now.
Yes, I agree.
No more changes.
No more changes. Code lock.
Hands off the keyboard.
It's we call it don't commit to master on a Friday. It's Friday here in Australia, BW, so okay, so I'm gonna create a pull request. Okay, so if I go to I think here I just had a pull request open. Okay, so here style changes. CSS is now working. Can we add PRs? You totally can. Workbench get in line. Pull request creation failed. Oh, it already exists. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, is this it? I think that's everything. That looks like
that looks like a lot of changes.
Cool. Alright, so you feel free to fix that whenever. And then we can Daryl's like he got both his job and our job done at the same time. That's great. You like the stream? I'm glad we have a stream. Yeah, do we have a schedule? Well, we're roughly every Friday. B-Doggy, do you have a virtual event meetup page for your next one already?
Yeah, so we have a meetup for the next 3 weeks. So tomorrow we actually to be the creator of the OctaKit webhooks library that we've been using. I'll be chatting with him about next level repository management. He does a lot of automation. His name's Gregor. We'll be talking to him next week. We'll be talking to him literally tomorrow, my time.
This is, tomorrow. So, B-Doggy and I both put up the link for the actual meetup group, which is where we post all of these, including our virtual regional meetups. But the last link that I just posted there is the Next Level Repository Management with Octaherd that BDoggy's been talking about all streams. So come along to that one. If you want to keep engaging with us and chatting, feel free to come and we don't have a Discord, but feel free to come and chat in our community forums. So Darryl was like, I don't do that. Mish just tells me. Otherwise, BDoggy and I both stream on our own channels. So feel free to come and chat to us anytime. Darryl's already point. Like, he'll ask me, like, when's the next one? I'll be like, oh, it's tomorrow, or it's next week, or we just announced another one. Otherwise, obviously follow us on Twitter as well. So Twitter, everything gets announced there. And as BDoggy said, we've had lots of like cool videos coming out, which is really cool. Other than that, was there any other links we had to share, Brian?
No, I think we have. We'll see you in the community forums. Check out the meetup. Follow this channel. That makes it super helpful to be notified when there's a stream. And I think that's about it.
So I just posted the one for starring a repo, but if you get the pull request, then you can start your own repo. Or if you fork it, then you can obviously start your own repo. Now I have to do it with lights and sounds, yes. I do have a whole lot of smart lighting in my room, as my viewers know. So we might have to do that next, which would be really fun. Was there anything else? Yeah.
I would mention that we did have Home Assistant on last week. And the whole demo that we did was actually the creator of Home Assistant, who's also the maintainer. He had a light just behind his head. And the whole demo, like the entire time, we were just turning the lights on and off. So if you don't want to watch those videos, we do have a YouTube account, which is called GitHub. And on there, there's a playlist called Open Source Friday where you can see the previous streams as well.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Well, I think that's about all for today, right?
Yep.
Thanks, BDoggy, for bearing with me while I learn. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for being awesome and giving us lots of, ideas, saying, oh, that crow's line's wrong. I'm just chatting with us and being part of this. I think it was, I probably gave some bad advice, Clockworks. Nah, you're fine. We hope you had a really good time. As BDoggy said, and I've said, we do these quite a lot, so come along, be part of it. It's really fun. Get involved in the community forums. Like, we don't have Discord, but jump on the community forums and be involved that way. This stream will be on Open Source Friday on our YouTube channel, so if you want to go back and rewatch it, you'll be able to. And we'll always do a Dev2 post as well. So, anything else to add, Brian?
No. Everybody contribute to open source in some way.
Sounds good. All right, we'll see you all next time, and hope you have a lovely afternoon, evening, day, depending on where you are in the world. But thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in with us, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.